What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Information Man Show. Thank you, everybody, for coming over. I know it's been a while. I've got a lot of material to go over with you today. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to come at this at a lot of different angles. One of the things that I feel is lacking on YouTube in terms of when people go on YouTube and they put out content is not enough data. Not enough. Yvette Carnell, shout out to her. She always brings the data. She proves what she's talking about by bringing out the data and the facts. Today, I'm about to present facts to you. We're going to go over Donald Trump and the things that he's been doing. We're going to talk about Al Sharpton, which I believe he represents failed black leadership, if he even is a leader, in his attempt to bring black people to Costco's as a way to say, well, Costco's is maintaining the DEI programs. So let me bring black people to Costco's when he should have brought black people to black businesses, because you just gave money to a corporation that's pretty much run by white society. And I'm about to expose Costco's today because it shows you that we have the wrong leadership in someone like Al Sharpton, who didn't do his research before he brought people to Costco's, because this DEI that's been talked about, when you dig into it, does it really benefit black people, black Americans, as much as it may benefit other people? Okay, I want to talk about Donald Trump. When you mess around and you play around and you BS around, you get stupid prizes. This man, since coming into office, I do agree with his orders to get rid of illegals that are here, particularly illegals that have criminal background. You got to go. If you've been here 10, 13, 14 years, 19 years, one man that they had on TV this week or on the news said that he had been here 19 years. If you've been here for 19 years, what the hell have you been doing to get your documentation right? That's more than enough time to have gotten it right. Okay? Black people, I'm going to go over this today. We already know that black people have warned the Spanish-speaking community. We warned them about this. People thought that Trump was just talking. And no, Trump wasn't talking. He meant everything that he said. He meant it all. We're going to get into this today because don't think black people that just because they're going after the illegal immigrants, which they should if they're illegally here, breaking the law, what have you. But the things that Trump has been doing to the Justice Department, particularly the Civil Rights Division. Remember Dr. King, and he had the nerve to quote that he was doing things in the memory of Dr. King. No, he wasn't. Dr. King, along with LBJ, worked on the 1964 Civil Rights Bill. And so what's happening is I get it. You want people to be judged by their merits, right? Judge me by my merits. Judge me by my merits, not by the color of my skin, but by my deeds, right? But we know this is the thing about America. If that was all true, that if that's all we needed, then why the hell did you have affirmative action and civil rights in the first place? If America was really a colorblind society, if America was really a society that believed in treating people with merit, then there wouldn't have been no need for affirmative action programs or even this DEI program. Okay? And let me clarify something to some of the goofies out there. When you look at affirmative action, when black people got into schools and got into programs and affirmative action assisted them, when you go to school, you don't get an affirmative action examination. You take the same damn examination as everybody else that got in to that university. So any black person that got assistance through affirmative action, but was still able to matriculate themselves through the university by passing the exams, then they damn well belong there. Okay? Donald Trump gutting the civil rights division like he did, it leaves us vulnerable. Even if you are doing things on your merit, even if you got the paperwork, you got the education, all that, what's to change the person who's hiring you? What's to stop them from still discriminating against you when that's the reason why we had affirmative action and civil rights? Now, DEI is a whole different other thing, because when I look into it, it doesn't look like black people are really the ones really benefiting from DEI. So when I look at DEI, as much as you hear black talking heads on the news, what is the percentage of black people that are even benefiting from DEI? Because what they've done is that they've crowbarred people in with their sexuality. Of course, they want to make more quotas as it relates to more women in the workplace, more women having access, and more other ethnic groups. Or the word that they keep using is people of color. But how much of these initiatives, these diversity, equity, and inclusion program, which is DEI, how much of it is really benefiting Black America? And I'm going to lay that all out today. Trump, everybody during the campaign, Trump kept saying that he could bring down inflation, that Joe Biden was the reason for the inflation issue that we have in this country. This man right here, right next to me, said that he could stop inflation. This tariff war that he's getting into with Canada is dangerous. Like I said, when you mess around and you do goofy stuff, you get dumb prizes. We are trusting that Donald Trump knows what he's doing, a man who has a record of bankrupting a casino. Who in the hell bankrupts a casino? He's messing around with Canada, and it's gonna hurt us. It's gonna hurt us. I want to play this before I get into the main meat and sauce of our video today. Let's get into it. I want you to hear this. This guy is a Middle Eastern, he's a Muslim guy. He's part of the, what is it called? He has a YouTube channel called, what is it? Muslim Nation. He breaks down what's happening. He's saying that under Donald Trump's leadership, America is having a war against itself. America is having a war against the Western hemisphere of the world with the tariffs war. And everybody, do you realize that the tariffs are nothing but an import tax? Who do you think is going to pay for it? Americans. Everything is about to go up. Eggs are already having problems. With the protection agencies that he has suspended, we're not a part of the World Health Organization. If we have another pandemic, we're in a world of crap. But I want you to hear what this man has to say, and then I'm going to play a video of the president of Canada. We're going to talk about Al Sharpton. We're going to get to Latinos or Spanish-speaking people that are crying out for black people to assist them because they didn't think that Trump was going to do this, which is deport them. They're upset because they're seeing their family members being deported. When you mess around like this, you get stupid prizes. Let me let y'all hear this right here. Check it out.
When you watch that, you have to be able to see how the A National OCGFC are operating and why Trump is their man. I mean, I've been telling you for 3 years, going on 3 years, that there's a destabilization campaign against Europe, that's what the Ukraine war actually is.
Check this
out. It's a proxy war being waged by the United States, not against Russia, but against Europe. I've been telling you that they're turning on each other. The West is turning on itself. I've been telling you that America is going to become more and more interested in creating conflict in the West, not in the global South.
That is exactly what's about to take place right now with the tariff war between Mexico now and Canada. This is not good for us as people in America. And black people, it definitely ain't good for us because economically, we don't have generational wealth to sustain these things. We're talking about gas prices going up. We're talking about vital products that we need in this country, aluminum, minerals, fruits. Wait until I read some things to you about, and this goes hand in hand with the show today, okay? I guarantee you'll be blown away by some of the things I'm going to present to you about all subject matters that you see on that thumbnail and on the title of this video today. Make sure you share this video in all your social media. Let people know, get more people over here, share it out. You can share it out by hitting the share button on your cellular phone, your desktop, your laptop, whatever you're using. And you can share it to Facebook right now. You can share it to Twitter right now, because the things that I'm about to tell you is very important. I don't waste a lot of time on my YouTube channel with BS, not on this particular channel. We're doing real talk over here, real work over here about the issues. So even though a lot of black people are happy that Donald Trump is getting illegals out of here, and that's why I think some black people did vote for Trump. It wasn't a majority of black people that put him in office. We're going to talk about who's responsible for putting him in office. It wasn't black people. Don't get caught up in all of that. Well, it was black men. No, black men still voted for the Democratic Party in high numbers. Black women still voted for the Democratic Party in high numbers. It was white women. We're going to put up those stats in a little bit. It was white women, Latino, Spanish-speaking men, white men are the majority that put this man in office. And then you had a sprinkle of black people who turned away from the Democratic Party. The Democrats are a complete mess. They have a lack of leadership. There is no leadership in the Democratic Party. But let me let you hear the rest of what this man is saying here.
I've been telling you that the historical roles of the global North and the global South are going to be reversed. Mm-hmm. Didn't I tell you that? Well, look at the last Trump press conference. Mm-hmm. He's talking about destroying Canada economically. He's talking about trying to force them into submission. That's what all this talk is really about. He's talking about making the whole country into an American state. And he's talking about doing the same thing with Greenland, except with Greenland, he even said that they might use military force to do it. So that's a direct threat against the EU, and they've taken it as such.
So that actually, when you go and do the research, that is a direct war cry against the EU, European Union. You can't do that. These are agreements that was made way before Trump got back into office. Can't do that. Why are we, I know Trump is saying, well, we're paying more than any other. And then he lied today and said that we don't need any of the resources in Canada. Yes, we do. Without them, we're gonna have some problems. And he's already come out and said that he wants Americans to be willing to suffer. Why do Americans have to suffer? You said that Americans, Trump, were suffering under Biden. Now you're telling us that we have to suffer under what you're trying to do. A man who bankrupted a casino.
He's literally saying that America could potentially use military force against a European country in order to seize territory from them. Seize European territory. Well, that's nothing but colonization. What he's talking about with regards to Canada, that's nothing but colonization. The man is talking about occupying, colonizing, and pillaging other Western countries, the resources of other Western countries. He called the border between Canada and the U.S. an artificially drawn line. I mean, Putin didn't even say that about Ukraine.
Whoa. All right. So everything that he said is correct. And then, of course, I got to play this because this was the breaking news this morning and late last night. Then you have the president of Canada. And Canada, I'm telling you, they're not playing, y'all. Check this out.
Imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian exports to the United States and 10% on Canadian energy. A decision that, should they elect to proceed with, should take effect on Tuesday, February 4th. Cette décision met en péril une relation économique historique. Une relation qui a été la source de tellement de richesses, de prospérité et de possibilités des deux côtés de la frontière. Tonight, first, I want to speak directly to Americans.
I just
our
want y'all to
closest
hear
friends
this
and
before I
neighbors.
get to the meat of the sauce of the
This
stream
is a
today.
choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will impede.
Everybody put sevens in the chat room if you agree with what I'm about to say right now. Isn't gasoline already expensive enough at the pump? Aren't we already paying more for groceries? Didn't Trump say that he could lower the prices, that he could get rid of inflation, that inflation was caused by the Democratic Party? If we think inflation is bad now, with this tariff war that he's doing, which is an import tax that they're going to make American companies are going to put on us as consumers. If things are already bad with inflation now, they're going to get 10 times worse with this tariff war that he's come out with. He wants to tariff his way through his damn presidency. Now, I'm going to say it again. I'm glad that Trump is getting rid of illegals that are here. I'm down with those part of his policies, but I'm also looking at how these policies are going to impact the people that are at the bottom in our society economically. And those people, a lot of them are people who look like us as black people. Let's hear some more of this.
Impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago.
You hear what he said, aluminum, steel. I mean, I've got some notes here. The cost of gas is going to go up, y'all. Automobile industry is going to lay off people. You can see they're going to be there could be a potential, I'm saying potential, that the automobile industry that relies on steel and relies on these resources, they could start laying people off in the automobile industry. Wasn't it Barack Obama? Whatever you think about Barack Obama, that's your business. But Barack Obama, when he was in office, he saved the automobile industry. If Trump pushes these tariffs, it could hurt the automobile industry because people are not going to buy cars that are overpriced. And they're already overpriced as is. Uranium. We need uranium, aluminum. They're going after Mexico. Do you know that Mexico represents 31% of the horticulture, the vegetables and the fruits that we're getting in America? Canada provides us with grains, meats, canola oil, all these things that, because remember, let's keep this in mind. America, we don't produce nothing. We don't manufacture like other parts of the world. We're not a manufacturing giant as we once were. So therefore, we've become dependent on other countries. That's why what Trump is doing don't make sense, because we're not an independent country in terms of we're manufacturing everything. It'd be different if we manufactured all our products here and we didn't need anybody on the outside. However, that's not how it works in America, because they want to keep the cost cheap for you and me. So they outsource it out. I just want to lay that on y'all. Just want to lay it on you.
But it doesn't have to be this way. As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies.
I want to thank my man, Larry, Anything Goes LLC, for the $10 super chat, brother. Appreciate it. You you giving that super chat. Let me put you up here real quick if I can. Real quick. I want to appreciate you for that super chat, brother. Appreciate you right there. I'm going to give you a clap. We're going to head into a recession very soon. It's happening. It's going to happen if this continues. Jill's Chocolate Boutique, Peggy Roster, Last Call, everybody that's here, The Truth, thank you for being here. But I got to get back on the subject matter here because I got so much stuff to show you and blow your mind with that I just wanted to put out this preliminary information based on what's happening right now in real time.
That rang true for many decades prior to President Kennedy's time in office and in the decades since. From the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of the Korean Peninsula, from the fields of Flanders to the streets of Kandahar, we have fought and died alongside you. During your darkest hours,
hearing it.
During the Iranian hostage crisis, those 444 days we worked around the clock from our embassy to get your innocent compatriots home.
Iranian hostage crisis.
During the summer of 2005, when Hurricane Katrina ravaged your great city of New Orleans.
Boom. Now, I'm going to give Canada some credit here. They got to get credit here, what I'm about to say, because I know a lot of people have forgotten about this. We cannot forget that during the summer of 2005, like he just said, there was a flooding in New Orleans, Katrina. George Bush Jr. was in office. He did nothing for black people for a whole week. Black people were crying for water. Black people were on the roofs of their apartments in their homes as it was flooding in the 3rd and 9th wards of New Orleans. And then Canada came into New Orleans, got there before American authorities. This is why I give them credit. They got there before American authorities. They sent the Canadian Mounties down there to help black people in New Orleans when our own damn government sat back and watched black people struggle in New Orleans with that flooding back in 2005. And it was the Canadian government that got involved with sending people down there to help folks in New Orleans. Not to mention the Los Angeles fire, what happened in Los Angeles, in Eaton, Altadena, like I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, they already trying to rip them black folks off in Altadena, California. Right now as I speak, they already trying to run a game on them down there. It was the Canadian government that sent firefighters and personnel and supplies to help California with that fire. So I'm keeping it real with you. Canada has always sort of had our back. But now we got this casino. We got this guy who bankrupts casinos in office. And now he wants to play around with a terror war because he wants to see if he can force his will upon these other countries. He's acting just like a dictator, like the guy over there in North Korea, Putin in Russia, because he likes these individuals. Yes, he's getting rid of illegals, and I agree with that. Yes, he came out and said that the 14th Amendment was meant for the children of slaves. He was talking about us. Yeah, Trump said all of that. But the shit he's doing right now is going to have an impact.
Or mere weeks ago, when we sent water bombers to tackle the wildfires in California. During the day the world stood still, September 11th, 2001, when we provided refuge to stranded passengers and planes, we were always there, standing with you.
Folks, I just had to play that because he was keeping it real there with the things that that he's done as it relates to assisting this country we call America and the things that we've gone through in this country. Like I said, I know what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to use bully tactics to force Canada to do what he wants them to do. You know, he keeps saying he wants to make Canada the next state. He keeps trying to force. He's using these tariffs as a way to force his will upon other countries. This is the difference between Canada and America. Those folks in Canada, they have pride in their country. They have pride. We in America, we're a capitalist society. It's all about getting what you can get. Step on the next man, step on the next woman. Them folks up there in Canada, they have a certain pride, and I think they're going to force their will upon the United States with the tariff. Now, you may say, oh, well, it ain't going to hurt us. Well, check this out. Do your research. Canada provides the United States $1.4 billion in surplus when it comes to electricity and trade. Where do you think we get all of our electricity from, y'all? So that means your electric bills are going to go up. A lot of our electricity, 1.4 billion of it, if you do your research, which a lot of people, there's only a few people on YouTube that I follow, that I'm aware of, who actually do research before they start talking about stuff. $1.4 billion in trade as it relates to electrical power. We are dependent on Canada for electrical power. At least 1.4 billion of it. The people that's going to hurt in the pocketbooks is your grandmother, your uncle, people that's on a fixed income. Those are the people that are going to feel the pain of what Trump is doing. And then he's got Elon Musk, who they just gave $6 trillion to, a billionaire. Your tax dollars going to his buddy, his bosom buddy. Elon Musk has got his hands on $6 trillion with this Doge department that ain't even a real department. I'm just laying out what's going on. You can like Donald Trump. You can say, hey, I'm glad I voted for him because he's getting the illegals out of here and the Democrats are terrible. I'm not here to promote the Democrats either or to put them on any high esteem. The Democrats are garbage as well. But what he's doing is very dangerous, y'all, right now. If we're already dealing with high inflation, this is certainly going to push it up a notch. It is certainly going to cause us a lot of problems. Certainly something that we don't really, in my opinion, need at this time. I just wanted to lay that out. I want to go over here to my next subject matter, talking about what's happening with Target and their DEI programs. Of course, Trump doesn't like the DEI programs. And I said before, I don't know how much the DEI programs are really benefiting black people. Now, people are saying to protest Target right now, right? There's a whole lot of talk all over the social media streets about whether black people should protest or protest in strategy. Some people are saying, hey, if you protest against Target, then the black people who have products at Target, they're going to lose out on having that much shelf space or having that kind of market supply, because if no one's coming in to buy anything, then they can use it as an excuse to get rid of black business owners. That's some of the things that's being put out there. Then people are saying, no, go to Target and only buy black products. Now, there's a sister by the name of Tabitha Brown. You've seen the video around YouTube. She is a sister who sells products at Target, and she did a video saying why she understands why people want to protest. She's explaining why it could ultimately hurt her as a black business. Now, obviously, the bottom line is she wants to make her money, right? People are saying, wait a minute, you should be willing to sacrifice for the bigger, better good. Let me let you hear what she has to say. You let me know in the chat room as we play this, a little bit of this, if you agree with her position or you disagree, okay? Because protest is about a sacrifice. And when Dr. King and all those folks in the civil rights movement, when they did what they did, they sacrificed. They didn't get on any newspaper and say, well, black folks, we don't want you. We want you to protest and do this, but make sure it don't affect our pocketbook. A lot of people gave her a lot of criticism for saying what she said. But if you're in business and you have a contract with a company like Target, you can't just pull out like that because they could sue you of breach of contract, right? But she's simply saying a lot of the products, black-owned products that are sold there, Target could use it as an excuse to get rid of them. But this is the thing. Target is already planning to get rid of their agreement with black businesses and their initiatives. Let me put something up here for you to see what I'm talking about. I want you to see this. And like I said, this man right here, Elon Musk, as I said before, Elon Musk, Doge gains access to payment systems, doling out trillions to Americans. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent approved a move effectively representatives of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, which ain't even a real department. They're giving him the money. They're giving him the bag. Let me just read this to you real quick. Okay. Just real quick. Washington Treasury Department has agreed to give Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency to a payment system that distributes trillions of dollars in entitlement benefits, grants, and tax refunds to Americans each year, according to people familiar with the matter. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who was confirmed by the Senate this past week, green-lighted the move to grant Doge representatives access to that money. So the money that comes out of our pocket, tax dollars, this man, Elon Musk, who's already getting government subsidies as is, he's got your money. We're literally paying him. That's why he's been cozying up to Trump. This is all about a grift. These people are about to grift off of the taxpayers of America and the government for the next 4 years. They're going to be grifting. Now, let me put this up here right here. Now, Target ends DEI initiatives amid Trump's orders to orders on diversity programs. Now, check this out. Target also said it was ending. So as Tabitha Brown is telling us, if we don't purchase black products, we could protest, just buy the black products, because if you don't buy the black products, they're going to get rid of black business vendors anyway. Well, they're going to do it anyway. So according to this article, it says Target also said it was ending its racial equity action and changing reach initiatives this year, under which it had pledged to invest over $2 billion with black-owned businesses by the end of 2025. So that means black-owned businesses are not going to get any money any damn way after this. The initiative included plans to add more than 500 black-owned brands and funding programs from its in-house media company. So that means they're not going to get it, even if Tabitha is telling us that we should support her products in the store, or that if we don't go to the store to Target, they're going to get rid of black business vendors already. They're already planning to get rid of you already. They're taking back the money and the investment that they were going to put into investing in black-owned businesses. This is why it was done for Mr. Al Sharpton. The Al Sharpton. Slick back Sharpton. This is why it was done for him to take them to Target, because I'm about to expose Target on this video today. So the slick back Al Sharpton. Slick back. You see the effery here, y'all? Right here. Yes, Target announced on January 25th that it will end the racial equity action and change, right? Target Reach program was created to help black employees improve the shopping experience for Black customers. So they were targeting to make our experience more pleasurable by presenting products from people that were Black that we would buy. In promoting Black-owned businesses, the program include plans to invest $2 billion. That's not going to happen now, right? I've already said that. Let's get to Tabitha Brown. Now, I like the sister. I like the fact that she's a Black woman in business, but this is where the rubber hits the sidewalk or the streets. I want y'all to let me know what you think of what she's about to say right here. And check it out.
DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses.
Now, we know that Black-owned businesses are very important. We need Black men, Black women, young people to be in business. So I'm feeling her on those aspects. But let's continue.
It's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen, to finally be seen and approved for retail.
Now, what does that mean? You know that Black people oftentimes we don't see any of our products on shelves, right? We may only be able to buy it from Black vendors at Black festivals or Black, cultural type of market centers. They have them in Atlanta. Every place, Oakland has the Black Expo every year where you have every Black business person, person that's selling products under one roof. We have these kind of festivals, but let me continue.
Retail, because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right? However, I am in business in multiple ways with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also...
Everybody, if you're familiar with Tabitha Brown, she has a YouTube channel. I think she's well known. Hit 7 in the chat room if you're familiar with her. But let's hear, because there's an area of what she's saying that of what she's going to say, and I want to see what your opinions of it will be. I'm sorry.
In Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is, if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected, and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelf.
Right, because you have contractual agreements. You just can't say, oh, I'm going to pull all my stuff. Doesn't work that way. But do you agree with what she's saying? Now, we know part of a boycott is that everybody's got to sacrifice. Everyone. You have to sacrifice going into that store and getting the things that you like to get. Everyone sacrifice. She's simply saying, hey, if you do this, it's going to impact me, which is why people are saying maybe just go there to buy Black-owned products only. But then this is the trick bag of it. Even if we do that, you're still giving Target money, because you know and I know that whatever sales she makes at Target or Walmart, they get a percentage of that money anyway. So you still are kind of giving them your money. it's kind of a catch-22 if you know what I mean.
There's a process, and then you gotta, like, where you gonna put it? You gotta have a place to store it. That's money, right? You gotta have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business.
Right. And a lot of people are saying, hey, come on now, you could just sell your products online. You could just go ahead and sell it online to make up the loss. But the fact of the matter is, if you haven't been in business before where you're doing mass numbers, it ain't that easy, like she said, to just pull stuff out. And you're under contract. You could get sued, right? You could get sued by these corporations who say, wait a minute, you signed up for us to sell your products for these amount of months, these amount of years, blah, blah, blah. So, and like I said, it's a catch-22. Even if we go in there and buy only Black products, you're still giving Target a percentage of the money if you are a person that's for DEI programs. But I'm telling you right now, Black folks out there, a lot of Black folks are not benefiting from the DEI programs. So in some ways, protesting Target, who are you really protesting when even Target, their DEI programs don't even really benefit Black people like you think? I'm going to show you the numbers today and blow you away. Let's continue.
And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products.
Thank you, Jill.
Right.
Boutique. It is true. They don't benefit us.
The thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well.
Okay.
If we all decide to stop supporting said businesses and say, you know, I can't buy nothing from there, even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then put their preferred businesses on the shelves.
Do you all agree with what she's just said? And I had mentioned that earlier, that they could put their preferred businesses on the shelf and use it as an excuse to get rid of Black businesses. But it's a no. They're going to do it anyway. What did I put up on the screen earlier? Target Reach program was to create and help Black employees improve the shopping experience for Black customers and promote Black-owned businesses. The program included plans to invest over $2 billion. They just took that off the table with Black-owned businesses by the end of 2025. So I get what she's saying, but Black-owned businesses are going to be hurt anyway. The initiative included plans to add more than 500 Black-owned brands. That's not going to happen, folks, under their desire to get rid of the DEI. And prior to this, Black people weren't really benefiting from whatever DEI program that Target was pushing anyway, because they're really pushing the LGBTQ community. They're really pushing women, everybody else but us. Let's continue.
And then what happens to all the businesses who've worked so hard to get where they are? Then what happens, right? Now, I know that something that could solve it is ownership of these big corporations, right? It's a long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta.
Right, Village
who
Market,
support
that's
small
what it's called.
businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy. But it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market. You can't build that overnight. Do we all sometimes have these big dreams and aspirations to do that? Absolutely, right? But it is easier said than done, but it's not impossible. But until then, and in order to get there, we unfortunately have to play the game. And in playing that game, we got to be smarter than the ones who think they're in control. Okay? And I say,
You know, everybody, isn't it a trip that Black people, when it comes to us, we always got to play the game. We're the only ones that have to play the game. Nobody else is playing the game. Although what she's saying is true, it is the reality that we always are in a position to have to play the game. Check out what she said right here, too.
And weed us out. Do you understand? Because sometimes that's what they want. And in times like this, they're telling us that. Okay? So as frustrating as I listen, as frustrating as the whole situation is, as frustrated as I am, as all of you are, we still got to be smart. Now, you can still go into those stores if you choose to and buy specific brands that you want to support and let the other things, right, not get your money.
They're already getting your money. I understand what Tabitha Brown is saying, but even it's a catch-22. Even if you buy her products, Target is getting a percentage of that money. They're not just letting her sell her products in their store for free. Certainly they're not selling it for free. They're in business to make money. She's in business to make money. So therefore, if you do buy her product, you are helping her, which is very important for Black business, but you're also giving money to Target, which means the protest isn't effective because it's an economic boycott. By mean you don't give them none of your money. And if they buy your products, Miss Tabitha Brown, they would still be giving Target money that they get from the percentage of your product. Therefore, it defeats the purpose of the economic boycott. If that makes any sense, everybody, let me know if that made sense what I said or not. Let's just hear the rest of this, and then I'm going to
be very specific. There's so many women, right, that have worked hard to be a woman-owned business. Donna's Recipe is two women, me and Gina Woods, my business partner. We are self-funded. We're self-funded. And we are on shelves.
That's fantastic.
In limited doors at Target, right? Other companies, right? There's a Black History Month is coming right now, and all of these brands are about to be showcased, some of them for the first time. And of course, they would do something like this right now, but they still need their moment. They still need our support. Only if you feel like you can and are willing to. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what, as a business owner, what we still need until we can get to another place, right? And I don't know when that other place will be. I know for me, I'm under contract. I'm gonna give it to you 100. I got
See?
Another year.
Didn't I say this? She's under contract. So if she does anything like pull her products out, whatever it may be, they can sue her. She said that she's under a year. And with them pulling away from the program, the DEI program, they're probably going to let her go after this year is over. There's a possibility of that. But she's still under their contract. Okay? She's still under their contract. Very interesting.
Then I make a decision. Okay? So many other businesses are just starting. They're just getting in. This is their big break to go to the next whatever phase of their business there may be. We have to have understanding and compassion for each other and not be in an emotional state, but also a smart state. Because if we start doing I'm not shopping there, and it's our businesses that are in there, that's their way that they will clean us out.
Right. But they're already planning, Miss Tabitha Brown. They already plan to clean Black businesses out. They plan to clean Black businesses out by doing what? They're not going to add more than 500 Black-owned brands anymore. They're getting rid of all of it. So black people doing business with Target, it appears to already be doomed. Do y'all get where I'm coming from in my premise here?
And replace us and say, well, your business is not performing.
Right. But it looks like
That's
they're going to replace you anyway. You said that you're only on a 1 more year contract, I guess the end of this year. And if they're already taking away money, stopping whatever initiatives that they were planning to invest in more black business owner brands, and they're taking them away, then black people not protesting and or at least going there and buying your products, they'll put money in your pocket for right now. But what's going to happen next year? What's going to happen in the next 6, 7, 8 months? I'm just wondering.
People won't. We can't give them what they want. Okay? I hope that this is making sense for somebody. And I know it's a long video, and I know somebody might not listen to the whole thing. But this is...
Wow, folks. Wow. This is the thing that bothers me, everybody, about this whole situation. Here it is, 2025, and we as black people are still in a situation where we don't have our own distributing companies. We don't have our own corporations. And since we don't have our own black Target, we don't have our own black Walmart. We don't have, because the reason why someone like Tabitha Brown is in her situation that she's in, where she's begging black people not to boycott because it would hurt her and other black business owners, or that we should just go there and buy their products. The reason why they're in this position, because we don't have black infrastructure. We got too many black people involved in entertainment and sports and entertainment, and not enough black people involved in building businesses. So if there were black corporations that distribute products, and if we had our own black Target, then someone like her wouldn't even have to worry about getting on her social media, on her YouTube channel, and telling us, don't do this or do that. Because why? Because there's no other place for her to go that's black owned, that's at that level of distributing products. Remember, there was a time when black people controlled the beauty industry, and now we've allowed Koreans to come over here and take that industry from us. Now you go into a store, you've got Koreans selling you Sport and Wave and the hair and all that kind of stuff, the makeup. They're selling it to you, and they'll even move their business into the black community and put up the black posters and make you think it's a black-owned business, and then when you walk in there, it's Korean-owned.
Tell the truth.
What is that all about, folks? Let me see what some folks are saying before I go on to the next part of the presentation. All right. We got Copper. What's going on? Aboriginal says we don't have the large building space. Right. Which is why she's in a situation that she's in, where she has to beg black people to not take any drastic measures because she can't move her products. Plus, she's under contract. We got Freeman says it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We got the B lady in the house. How you doing, my sister? She says BRB. We got Jill's Chocolate Boutique saying exactly, information man. We don't have our own. The B lady says what's up to X Freeman. What's going on, X Freeman? Thank you for being here. Let me see what you're saying right here. X Freeman says Tabitha Brown has a net worth of $5 million and earns over wait a minute, damn it, I lost that. There we go. Earns over $1 million annually, so she can miss me with all of that talk that she's doing. You know what? Great point.
Tell the truth.
So that means that she has enough money right now that she could sacrifice for a little while to let people just boycott, right? Because what did I say earlier? A boycott is about sacrifice. A movement is about sacrifice, responsibilities. You have to give up. You have to be willing to do something, right? When black people were protesting during the civil rights movement, they were willing to go to school and walk and not get on the damn bus. When it came to the Montgomery bus boycott, they actually walked. which mean what? They had to deal with having sore feet. You have to be willing to say, whatever it is at Target that you like to buy, I'm going to go without it. That's a sacrifice. So therefore, if the people that's going to protest against Target in a boycott are going to sacrifice, then Tabitha Brown, you have to be willing to sacrifice as well. Now, she says, well, if we don't buy her products, they'll move her out. Well, it looks like Target, as I said before, is going to move black people out any damn way. So, you know, either way, they got us by the balls. Exactly. Alicia, what's going on? She says, right. Let me see who else we got here. Let me see. Copper. He says that the Koreans have the patience on black hair care product. Yeah. But see, I'm old enough to remember when black people dominated the hair care industry. We were the ones selling our own. I remember when I was a teenager, I would go to a beauty store. It was black owned. When I went in there to get grease, hair grease, any kind of product, wave cap, whatever we call it, y'all know how it works. It was somebody black selling it to us, and they owned the business outright. Some kind of way, we allowed ourselves to lose that power. Maurice Smith says this. There's 30 minutes documentation on how U.S. gave Koreans the black female hair market. Right. I'm very familiar with that. But even if they did that, we don't have to spend our money with them. You get it? We got the power. Okay? It doesn't matter what the United States did to give them the hair care industry. Black people don't have to do what? We don't have to do what? We don't have to buy our products from them. We could go online and find black business people who sell products online. We don't have to give it to them. We could drive Koreans out of business tomorrow if we stop going into their hair care facilities and buying products from them. That would mean that we got to what? Sacrifice. That means black men, you got to stop buying your wave caps, buying your sport and wave grease from them. Sisters, you got to stop buying your hair, your makeup, your lipstick, all that shit. You got to stop buying it from them and go somewhere else where black people are either selling it at a cultural market or online. That means what? You have to sacrifice not being able to get it right there in your hand and having to order it and wait for it to be shipped to you. That's called sacrificing to not give your money to them, because they take your money and then they go into their communities and make sure that their kids go to school and get good education and have good house to live in and all that kind of stuff. What's going on? The guy from Texas, right? What's going on? Nightfall Drop. Good to have you over here. CBN Tech Talk is in the house. What's going on, my brother? All right. Let me read one more and I got to get back to the presentation. Why don't she start her online business distributing her products online or recruiting, recruiting people to stack her product? Hey, maybe she's thinking about it, but I don't know. Information Man Show, didn't we talk about our people are so too crazy to build our own infrastructure? Didn't we speak? Yeah, we spoke about that. Tiffany Coates, what's going on? Says go back to school. Go back to school. That's right. A campaign on 115. How does that work in technology? We got Jace, Sister Joyce. I hope I'm saying that correct. Let me just read this. She said, I remember when Crenshaw Boulevard in LA was a thriving black business community, black-owned beauty supply stores, clothes and stylists, etc. Then Koreans came in. But this is the thing, my sister. We got to look at ourselves and blame ourselves because we the one putting money in their pockets. And we don't have to. We just have to sacrifice and get it elsewhere. We might have to go online and buy it from black folks that are selling stuff online if we don't buy it from someone who's selling it at a cultural market. Let me get back into the presentation. I appreciate you all being over here today and being a part of this program. But I got more for you that I want to get into. And this man right here is the man that I got to get into. Al Sharpton. He got on that MSNBC and start running his mouth about how, yeah, we took black folks to Costco's, because Costco's, you know, Costco's is the place. Costco's is the place for black folks to go because they're not getting rid of their DEI program. And I told you DEI programs ain't really benefiting black folks on the level that you think. Let me put this up here. According to available data. Now, check this out. I want to bring this up because this is about DEI. This goes back to DEI. We don't represent DEI, y'all, like that. Donald Trump sat up there and blamed DEI for the plane crash. But right here, let's shut some stupid stuff down right here. According to available data, the percentage of black Americans working, let me put this up here. The percentage of black Americans working as air traffic controllers in the United States is sufficiently low, lower than the national average, estimated to be around 5%. However, precise figures are difficult to attain due to the FAA not publicly releasing details, demographics, and data on its workforce. Key points to consider: underrepresentation. The air traffic control profession has historically been underrepresented by black Americans, contributing to the low percentage figures. So black people, when Donald Trump is talking about DEI, he ain't talking about us because we ain't representing that damn DEI like that. Okay? Especially in the airline industry. And even if he's saying it as a dog whistle that we ain't the ones. I'm going to read some more here. According to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, only around 3.6% of airline pilots in America are black, representing a significant underrepresentation in aeronautics, right? In the aeronautics industry, aviation industry, should I say, right? Compared to general population. Key points: percentage of black pilots, 3.6%. Sources, U.S. Bureau of Labor. So what does that tell you? They keep telling us that they want a merit-based system. Well, if you want a merit-based system, why are we not getting no merit right now, right? There's why are there's only that little of black pilots or airline personnel that's helping planes to land? So, folks, when Donald Trump said what he said, don't get triggered by it because we don't represent the airlines in terms of pilots. We represent a small, very small, minute population. Muhammad gave me a $1.99 super chat. I sell black hair care, but my people go to others. Brother, what you need to do if you sell black hair care is you need to leave a comment on this video and put a link to either your website, your business, and ways that people can support you. I have no problem with doing a commercial for you on this channel or promoting your products so that black women, black people, black men can get in contact with you. That's what it's all about. So what I want you to do is leave a link in the comment section of this video. You can also email me. My email is on my YouTube channel. All you got to do is check the About section of my YouTube channel. Send me an email with more of your information, and we can talk about that. Let me read this part right here. Airlines have tried to expand the pool of potential pilots in recent years because staffing shortages. They have staffing shortages in recent years because of staffing shortages. Becoming a pilot has remained an obstacle for people who may be otherwise qualified. And they told you that if they get rid of the DEI programs, which ain't benefiting black folks anyway at high numbers, that it's going to be merit-based. Well, hell, right now, people that's qualified that look like us ain't getting an opportunity. Huh? I want to know what the black conservatives have to say about all of this. What y'all got to say? Since y'all spend most of your time talking about what's wrong with black people, but we talking about black people that's qualified and ain't getting an opportunity. Those expansion efforts have included partnerships with HBCUs. For decades, commercial airlines discriminated against non-white pilots. You know who they discriminated against? Black people, right? Despite the accomplishments of black service members, such as the Tuskegee Airmen, it took a lawsuit back in a lawsuit by a black pilot, Mario Green. Y'all remember Mario Green? And a Supreme Court ruling in his favor to force change. The first black commercial air pilot, David Harris. Over here, you get information. Over here, you getting real thought.
Information is power.
David Harris went to work for American Airlines in 1964. Companies such as Delta Airlines in the United States did not hire their first black pilot until after the passage of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And y'all man Trump, Mr. Trump, the orange man, he already did an executive order to mess around with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Y'all hear what I'm saying? When you mess around and you BS around, you get stupid prizes, everybody. See, your black conservatives on and off YouTube ain't going to tell you the stuff that I'm telling you. They're not going to break it down because they're so in love with Donald Trump. And I'm going to say it again. I'm glad he's getting the illegals out of here, but that doesn't change the fact that he's doing something with the Civil Rights Division that don't smell right. Don't smell right at all to me. And DEI, we should not get triggered when Trump talks about DEI because for the most part, black people really ain't benefiting from DEI. Wait till I give you the numbers on that. Like you think, okay? 1964 Civil Rights Act outlawed employment discrimination, y'all. Outlawed discrimination. That's what it did, y'all. That's what it did. That's why I had to go over that. I meant to bring this up earlier in the presentation, and then I realized, let me backdrop. Remember, Donald Trump. He ousted at least 14 independent inspectors general in late night purge, dismissing and appearing to violate federal law, which requires Congress to receive 30 days notice of any intent to fire a Senate-confirmed inspector. Well, who did he end up firing? For those of you who just love y'all some Donald Trump, who did he end up firing first? Oversight of some of the government's largest agencies was affected. The Department of Defense, Transportation, Labor, Health, Human Services, Veteran Affairs, Housing, and Urban Development. Who you think that's going to impact, y'all? Interior, Energy. Who you think that's going to impact? Commerce and Agriculture, as well as the Environmental Protection Agency. Who's impacted by, this is straight up 2025, Project 2025. Who's impacted by environmental racism more than black people in America, right? So the Protection Agency, Small Business Administration, and Social Security Administration. Why do they want to mess with our Social Security? Why do they want to push the Social Security age to 70? Why? They want us to croak before we can collect our money. Check this out. Some barriers to black-owned business receive federal contracts. So black people who receive money to finance their business are getting federal contracts. Well, those federal contracts will be in jeopardy. Federal contracts include legitimate application process, lack of transparency from federal agencies, confusing requirements, contract bonding, preferences for establishing businesses. The government goal is for 5% of all procurements to go to small, disadvantaged businesses like the SDB. SDB includes businesses owned by racially, ethnic, minority, economic disadvantaged people and people who can't show. So him messing around with stuff impacts that. I'm just giving y'all the facts here, whether you like it or not. But who did he end up firing is one of these compliant agents. Oh, he fired this sister right here. Trump fires senior labor board official in unprecedented illegal move. Mrs. Wilcox pledged to challenge the decision after being dismissed. What is her background? Let's give it some background. Donald Trump fired a senior official at the top of the labor watchdog triggering a chaos and criticism by many people, okay? Mrs. Wilcox, a member of the former chair of the National Labor Relations Board, described her dismissal as unprecedented, as I had said before. Her removal leaves the board with only 2 members and leave it without a quorum of 3 members required to issue decisions per 2010 Supreme Court ruling. Wilcox was confirmed, should I say, she was confirmed by the Senate, and her term was due to continue until August of 2028. So Trump had no business taking her out of there. He violated a lot of stuff. She had been appointed chair of the NLRB by Biden last month before Trump appointed Marvin, a Republican appointed member. So he put one of his cronies in there. So you talk about DEI, which black people ain't the ones benefiting from it. She just got hurt. She just lost her job. She was more than qualified for the job, but he didn't cut her loose. Yet, when you look at the stuff that Trump is doing, most of the people that he's appointed to positions in his administration, they all are benefiting from DEI or white privilege. From the defense secretary, don't tell me he qualified, because he ain't. Everybody that Trump has put in is a DEI benefactor of their privileged white skin. And y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
Now, I just wanted to say that, and while Trump is putting these tariffs, I said it earlier in the show, he's putting tariffs, 25% tariff import from Mexico, right? Canada, 10% on Canada, 10% additional tariffs on China. And this was done through the International Emergency Economic Powers Act that he used to implement these tariffs, y'all. Just want to remind you, it's always about money. It's always about money. Money is what sort of makes the world go round these days, around these issues. But let me get back to where I really should have stayed, and that is Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton got on his bully pulpit talking about Costco's was the place to bring black people. My argument is, why did you bring black people to black businesses, Al Sharpton? If you're supposed to be a leader, then you got to lead, man. Lead by example. And that example is you should have taken those black people to find black-owned businesses out there in New Jersey where you were and put the money in the pockets and pants of black business owners. Not Costco's. Let me let you see what he said, what he had to say. Al Sharpton is a trip, y'all. Check this out.
To respond to bias and to respond to exclusion, in many cases by law. You must remember, there were laws saying blacks couldn't do certain things, laws against LGBTQ, laws against women in some places. So for him to act like that now we're dealing with merit, we had merit, we just didn't have access to show our merit. And many of us that said this is how he felt, and he was saying, no, I don't, now see, he hasn't even been president a week, right? And he's done all this. He's done all this in 5 days. This is what he went in there for. This is the crowd he's playing to. And we must organize, because we must remember, we only got those rights won in the first place because we fought, which is why we've been methodical and strategic. But we intend to boycott some of these companies, but we're going to do it strategically. And today, those that are with us, I took over 100 people from our regular Saturday National Action Network rally, and we went shopping in Costco's.
Why? Why did you go shopping in Costco's? Slickback Sharpton. Why did you go to Costco's, brother? You should have took black people to black businesses. You could have infused money into black businesses that day. You gave it to a company that ain't really that representative of DEI as you think. And I'm about to expose it with documented numbers today on this channel. Damn, Al, you really slick back. Al, you really messed up.
Because they say, no, we're not going to be with the president. We're going to keep DEI. So we need to reward and be with our friends and our enemies. You don't want diversity in the office space, then you should have diversity.
Al, everybody listening to me right now, I'm here to tell y'all straight up, Costco is not the friend of black people. When I show you the data on Costco's, their board of directors, DEI has not even been effective for black people. And they won't even show you all their books on this. So Al Sharpton, I don't know, man, maybe you got, just like when you interviewed Kamala Harris and she broke you off some money and you didn't even tell MSNBC that you took money from her. Maybe Costco's broke you off a little money on the side, Al Sharpton. We know you got a slick history in the past, and I'm about to do a video to expose that history on your past sometime later on, folks. But Al Sharpton, come on, man, you must have got paid or something by Costco's to bring these black folks there. Just because they didn't jump out the window and say they're not going to continue DEI, don't mean that DEI is benefiting black folks in this company. See, this is what you call misleadership class. Al Sharpton and those like him represent the misleadership class. He's been leading us in the wrong direction, and it's time for us to have new leadership with a new mindset and not this chitlins and cornbread attitude that this man has.
Tell the truth.
In your consumer base.
There's so much to be worried about, just in the realm of civil rights. But I have to tell you, I did audibly gasp when I saw the news that he ended all civil rights cases and settlements. Why? Explain to viewers why they should be.
Now, I do have a problem with Trump messing around with the civil rights. That ain't cool. I can't buy into. Now, getting rid of the illegals, as I said before, down with that. The other stuff, very questionable.
Concerned that the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department is basically going dark when it comes to protecting the civil rights of American citizens.
When we have, over the last several years, decades, had a civil rights division that protected voting rights, that went in the Deep South and made sure that state officials couldn't block blacks from voting, couldn't block others from access. The only way Martin Luther King and others were successful is the federal government came in and protected them. That's
true.
What a little thing, and I'm being facetious, called the Civil War was about. The union rather than separate.
Now, that's true, Al Sharpton, but you still should have took black people to a black business instead of to Costco's. Let's watch him bringing black folks to Costco's. This is what you call the Miss Black leadership class at its worst. Check this out.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion in the private sector.
One of the managers. This is I'm retiring in 5 days. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Don't tell my store.
They're on your side.
Look at all these black people that are in this Costco's. Look at what Sharpton could have really done if he would have identified a black business. Because I think Sharpton, what he did is he brought all these folks to this Costco's, and I think he paid for all their stuff, right? I guess he flipped the bill for it, which means he probably got in contact with Costco's, told him that he was coming, probably wrote a big ass check, right? And within that check, people could go in there and grab whatever they desired, I guess, whatever they wanted within reason. But think what he could have did if he would have got in contact with all the black-owned businesses in the New York area, tri-state area, and he could have figured out a way to have these black folks go to those businesses, and then he could write them a fat-ass check and let them get whatever they wanted. You see what I'm saying? Why you think that Costco's is so DEI friendly to black folks when DEI programs ain't doing nothing to help black people at Costco's? Wait till I show y'all the numbers. Don't go nowhere.
And we were there with you last week.
Sorry, yep.
Love you. And you gotta make piano lessons. Yes, you got a piano lesson.
So Jonathan Major, you said that Mr. Al Sharpton gave them $25 gift cards. Are you freaking? Somebody in the chat room put in the chat room, how much is Al Sharpton worth? You know he making good money at MSNBC. He probably worth $6, $7, $8, $10 million, something like. You know he worth some damn money. And he gonna give him $25 gift cards. Come on, man. These black folks are supporting your Action Network, and you. and he takes a payment with an action. This man created an organization and he takes a payment. Plus, you know he's making good money with MSNBC. He's been on there for a minute now. Somebody put in the chat room, how much is Al Sharpton? Maybe what I'm shopping should have done about the Costco situation was to only write them a letter of appreciation for their stand with DEI. Yeah, but hold up now. Don't start giving them a nice letter until you find out what old information man going to expose about them today. I got the numbers. This shows you that Al Sharpton and those that are in his circle, they didn't research and they didn't think about, let's go to black businesses. Nina Turner, that sister, she was talking about, hey, maybe we should be going to black businesses. Let's go.
Hey, D, go to...
Well, I'm getting some hamburger meat, some eggs, and some chicken.
Some hamburger meat, some eggs, and some chicken. Okay.
With the help of Al Sharpton.
With the help of Al Sharpton. Slick back.
How you doing? You got any?
All right.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Put all that money in the hands of Costco.
Are you eating on the job?
Watch your back, sir. Watch your back.
Yeah, watch your back. Don't let nobody get their hands on Al Sharpton.
We love everybody at Sharpton.
Al Sharpton. Real American hero. Check this out, y'all. Look, I'll keep it real. Okay, it was cool. Okay, Al Sharpton brought those black folks to Costco. The sister there got some meat. She got some eggs. God knows that we need to be able to eat food. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it would have been better for him to bring them to a black business if they would have took the time to really research Costco's and how their DEI programs are really benefiting black people. Because it don't really look like they are. And let me remind y'all, too, that according to a Target 2023 Workforce Diversity Report, the retail workforce comprised of 56% females. This is for Target now. And employees and 43% male employees. The racial and ethnic distribution was similar, balanced with 56% of employees being people of color and 43% being white. I don't like that people of color because that people of color doesn't tell you how many black people DEI really benefited at Target. That's why I don't like that. Now, let's go into Al Sharpton. Now, Al Sharpton, let's expose something, man. Let's expose something. Check this out. This is Costco's, y'all. Check out these numbers I'm about to put up. Boom. Wait a minute now. Boom. And then boom. Costco Diversity Index and Transparent Score represented in the S&P 100. There are 11 companies from the consumer staple sector. Amongst them, Costco ranks number 10 for Black American diversity, number 1 for Latino or Hispanic diversity, 3rd for Asian, and number 2 for diversity. 10th for, check this out, Black people are at 10, Latinos at number 1, Asians at 3. Now, check this out right here. Costco's Board of Diversity Statistics. Costco Board of Directors is 36.4 female and 63.6 male. Their board of directors is 90.9% white. So he just put money in the hands of white people that own the business. But they're only 9.1% black or African American, 0% Hispanic, 0% Latino, and 0% Asian on their board of directors. So much for Costco's DEI programs, right? That people are just getting in because there's DEI. BS. Bottom line is there's not much diversity on their board, y'all. Not much diversity. Check this out. Here goes another number. Bam. This is Costco's board member diversity. You see where I have it highlighted, racial, ethnic diversity. That's number blue. That's that light blue, that ocean blue at the bottom. That's at the bottom. Gender diversity is higher. Remember, DEI is mainly benefiting people of the LGBTQ, transsexual, gay or lesbian persuasion. They're the ones that are benefiting because the black is for gender diversity. That's higher. Then you got, and that can also be women as well. So they're hiring more women, but a lot of these women are white. A lot of them are not black women. Total diversity, gender, race is that red one going up. But the reality, everybody, is that when it comes to black folks, we're at that low bottom within Costco board members diversity. Check this out right here. This one is really telling. Al Sharpton, my God, man. Costco's EEO1 total workforce diversity. I have it highlighted. Black African American. Black and African Americans only make up 9.3%. We are the lowest pie. Well, wait a minute. Let me get this right. We make up 9.3%. Hispanic and Latinos make up 31.8%. Check this out. Who is DEI really benefiting, everybody? Is it benefiting black people like that at Costco's? No, it's benefiting Latinos at 31.8%. Black people at 9.3%. Now, the big old giant pie that says 45.8%, that's white people. White people make up the bigger part of the apple pie at Costco's. They make up 45.8%. What's going on, Jay the Informant, Freeman, the guy from Texas, Carper Aborigine, Nightfall Drop. Appreciate you all being here. X Freeman, everybody, thank you for being here and rocking with us today. They make up 45.8%. Now, the 8.2% is made up of Asians. Asians make up 8.2%. Black people are only a mark by one higher than Asians. But you see, if DEI was really so effective at Costco's in their workforce, then why would the workforce be really dominated by 45.8%? Then you got 31.8% of Latinos or Hispanics, right? Black people only make up 9.3%. So we're out in the cold. DEI is not working for black folks at even Costco's. And he takes these black folks, your man, Al Sharpton takes these black folks to Costco's because they're so good at DEI. But yet when you look at their overall workforce, black people are only benefiting at 9.3. Seems to me that DEI is working for Latinos and Hispanics and white women and people with non-binary gender, non-conforming or people of the LGBT community is benefiting from them. Now let's look at their board. Let me let you see what their board looks like. Ow, Sharpton, did you look at their damn board, man? Here we go. Boom, they got one black man on the damn board. We're going to go through their whole board. They only got one brother, Kenneth D. He's a director. He's the only black man on their board. Everybody else is white. Kenneth has been a director of the company since March 2017. He has been a general partner at Swain Venture and Venture Capital firm since March 2017. He was president and chief executive officer at one developer of software technology to analyze facial expressions until the company was acquired by Apple in January 2006. So this brother's background, he's qualified, okay? This brother's worked in tech, okay? He's worked for a lending company, Lending Club Incorporated. Previously, he was a director at 5V Malware Company, okay? He was on the board of the University of Washington Foster School of Business. He is the chairman of the University of Washington Foundation Board. So he's well qualified, right? He's a well qualified brother, but he's the only one on their board. Here goes some more board members. See? So why is it that DEI is not diversifying their board more than only one? You only got one black man on the damn board. Here goes some more of their folks. See? Then let's go deeper into the stats of DEI and how this works right here. Let's go deeper into it. Let's go into this. There we go. Al will take you off there. There we go. Here we go. Chief Diversity Officer Statistics by Race. So these are people who, how often do people get hired as Chief Diversity Officers? Now, I looked at something that said that a lot of universities are hiring black chief of diversities, and a lot of them are black women. But let's go a little bit deeper here. This is the overall stat of what's happening in our country. White women are the biggest benefactors of the DEI program, not black people. White women overall are the biggest benefactors of it. They stand at 76.1%. Hispanics, Latinos are at 7.8%. Asians are at 7.7%. Unknown is at 3.9%. But black people, check this out. Black people are at 3.8%, and American Indians or Alaska Natives are at 0.7%. So black people and Native Americans are not represented at high numbers. Still, so overall in our country, DEI is not really benefiting black people in high numbers. We're only at 3.8% overall in this country. According to that's when you are applying for a job like Chief Diversity Officer Statistics by race and gender. When it comes to this type of position within companies, black people are not getting opportunity. Okay. Now let's enlarge this a little bit more for you so you can see. Chief Diversity Officer demographics by race. The most common ethnicity amongst Chief Diversity Officers is white, which makes up 76.1% of all Chief Diversity Officers, right? Comparatively, 78.8% of Chief Diversity Officers are Hispanic or Latino, and 7.7% Chief Diversity Officers are Asian. black people are not even on the radar because we're at 3.8%. That means when we're applying for a top job like this to be someone who's in charge of compliance, we're not getting an opportunity. So if DEI is giving people like black people the advantage, it's not. So when we have Miss Black leadership telling us that DEI is so important for black people, we're not benefiting from DEI. Now, when it came to affirmative action, which was meant for us, we were benefiting from that, Al Sharpton, and on some level. Let's look at another chart here. I'm about to blow y'all away with these charts. Chief Diversity Officer, Race and Ethnicity over time. Chief Diversity Officer, Race and Ethnicity over time. Excuse me, folks. See how Chief Diversity Officer, Race and their ethnic background diversity trended since 2010, according to the United States Census Bureau data. We got white, we got Asian, black people are the orange line. You see that little line? I want y'all to look at this on your screen. You see the line at the very bottom where it's kind of orange colored? That's where black people are. Going all the way back to 2010, all the way to 2021. So DEI programs, and you could even make the argument affirmative action before it got shut down, didn't really benefit us. And even in today's society from 2020 and 2021 and 19, it hasn't benefited black people. Black African Americans are flatlined, okay? The next people above us would be, I believe, Asians are a little bit below us. And then Hispanics are just a hairline above, just a hairline. White people are way up here at 80%. Which is made up of white women who are primarily the benefactors of DEI. Let's go up here. Al Sharpton brought black folks to Costco, talking about he was supporting Costco's Jonathan Kidd because they are the only one that's not backing out of it. Check this out. Chief Diversity Officer wage gap by race. According to our data, white chief diversity officers have the highest average salary compared to others. So even when we get the damn job, we don't even get paid properly, even when we get a job based on DEI or diversity type stuff. So when we get a job, a black person, black man or black woman, a job for chief diversity officer, there's still a wage gap. Black people, as you can see, and I have it highlighted, are at the bottom. White people are at what, $94,000 in their pay. Asians are at somewhere between $93,000 in their pay, just a little bit below white people. Hispanics and Latinos are even above us, close to like $92,000. Black people, we're down near around what, $89,000 to $90,000. So we're getting underpaid even amongst these other ethnic groups, the unknown, which is mixed race people, maybe Hispanics, Latinos, whites. We're still getting underpaid. According to the data, white chief diversity officers have the highest average salary compared to other ethnic groups. Blacks or African American chief diversity officers have the lowest average salary at $89,538. So with that said, if DEI was so much benefiting black people, Al Sharpton or anybody out there listening right now, if it was really benefiting us, why are black people, even when they get jobs like chief of diversity, they're getting paid less than everybody else? White women still leading the positions and everyone's getting paid more than us. And we're at the lowest of the totem pole there. What's that all about, everybody? What is that all about? Somebody tell me, I'm getting closer. Somebody tell me what's going on. Okay? I want to know. Somebody tell me what's going on. I'm getting a little bit closer. I want to know what is going on, y'all. So we can't sit up here and start saying that we know that these programs are benefiting black people. We can't allow ourselves to be led by the Miss Black leadership class, like Al Sharpton, telling us one thing when we're losing out on so many levels. And then to wrap that up, check this out. This is from Black Enterprise, and you can look it up for yourself if you don't believe what I'm telling you right here. Black people only comprise 4% of DEI positions in the workplace. Following the 2020 death of George Floyd, companies across various industries made announcements after announcing that they would invest in diversity and inclusion initiatives, often using the position of chief diversity officer to direct these efforts. A report from the career site Zappa, which is what I'm using for the data, this is where I got my data from, ZIPPIA, details that these positions, only 4% of the roles were occupied by Black people in 2023. That's a damn shame.
Tell the truth.
All Reliable, how you doing? Good to see you over here. It's a damn shame. I just had to drop that on you all. And then it came back that the lack of Black people in diversity and inclusion roles make it experts in the field suspect that those announcements and positions were created for public relation boosts and little else. So I'm not going to read through all of that, but the bottom line is they're saying that these programs were only used for public publicity to make these companies like Target, Costco's, all of them, to make it look like they were doing the right thing. It was all a publicity. And Black people, once again, are only getting 4% of these type of opportunities through the DEI. It is white women who primarily make up the beneficiaries of these programs. Let me read something to you. Put this up here real quick. I'm just going to read this real quick. Some Americans are shocked to learn that Black people are not the primary beneficiaries of diversity and equality and inclusion programs, equity inclusion programs, because for many, these policies are synonymous with discussions about race, while comparing voluntarily adopted policies to address racial discrimination in the workplace, right? During the 1960s and 1970s, they were designed to help the number of marginalized groups, including religious minorities, veterans. White women have benefited most from DEI programs, while white women remain underrepresented at every stage of the corporate pipeline. According to McKinnon's study, estimated that it would take 48 years for women of color to achieve gender partial, while only 22 years for white women reach this milestone. It took 22 years for white women to reach the milestone to benefit from these programs, where it would take women of other races, in this case, Black women, 48 years. And the same thing goes with affirmative action. When affirmative action programs came out, white women were the biggest beneficiaries of these programs. Just wanted to put that out there for you, everybody. Thank you very much. Now, let's get to the next part of my presentation. Oh, let me play this for you real quick as part of my presentation before we get to the other good stuff, where you have Latinos crying out to Black people that we should cape for them, that we should support them in their time of sorrow because they're being deported.
For the second half hour, The Factor Uncensored. Your store, Costco's decision to stick with diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives has been followed up with the threats of a boycott. Shareholders have been putting pressure on the board of directors to drop the program, DEI, claiming the initiatives are a financial risk and discriminatory. However, the company's board of directors argue DEI is good for business, including diversity. Now, as a result, some supporters of President-elect Donald Trump have been threatening to boycott the store on social media. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored tonight, CEO of Regal Media, Todd Smith, and attorney Kevin Fulton, who is a conservative. Glad to have you all here on The Factor Uncensored. So, Todd, your thoughts about Costco saying we're going to stick with DEI despite the threats a boycott and the kicking off President Donald Trump?
I think it's good for business. Honestly, you're going to lose some people, but you're going to gain a lot of customers who want to support a company that supports DEI. I know a lot of people who are for DEI who are boycotting.
And really quick, let's just explain what DEI is.
Diversity, equity, inclusion, when you use a person's diverse status, their race or something to have an impact on their hiring and stuff like that. But a lot of people look at it as a handout. As a business owner, I want diverse voices in the workforce. I've worked for companies, and me being a younger African American at the time, I think I brought something to the table that they were overlooking and added to their bottom line. I won't get into details, but even as a business owner, as an older guy now, I want younger workers to tell me, okay, who should I be interviewing? Who's hot? Who's not? So it's not just about giving a person an opportunity. I might not look like the best candidate on my resume, but when you look at where I come from, what my tastes are, I can add value to your company that you might not even know you were missing. So when people bring in diverse employees.
Hey, Alan Christian, thank you for the $10 super chat. Preach it. Information Man, thank you very much for that.
Thank you for the super chat.
I appreciate the super chat. Most definitely, my brother. Let me continue this here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm getting ready to get to the good stuff, folks. Don't go nowhere. I'm getting ready to get to the good stuff that I definitely know that you want to hear and see for yourself.
They could also bring in more customers because those employees could help them reach those customers. So it's not just a handout, it's just good for business also.
All right, Kevin, your thoughts about this?
Well, everything is being grouped into DEI, so I'm going to separate it out. I think it's a good concept when you talk about expanding your applicant pool. If you want to put in play where you're reaching out to more applicants so you have a wider base to pick from, I agree with that. What's problem is when it switches over into quotas, where you start giving points to different groups. Because at the end of the day, the people who you think you're helping, you're actually maybe hurting. I've looked at companies giving points, and a heterosexual black male would not get a job when they were going against a white gay female because she checked more boxes. And so when you...
Now, I know this brother's conservative. I do agree with what he's saying, that if a company is looking for quotas, they're going to pick a white female who's gay over a black man because, like he said, they check all the boxes. They're a female, and then they're LGBTQ, so now that checks all the boxes. This diversity, equity, and inclusion ain't really including us like you think it is. I'm going to say it over and over again. Black people only comprise 4% of DEI positions in the workplace. I've already went over some things about Costco and their hypocrisy, and then some general numbers of DEI in our country when it comes to chief diversity officer positions, and black people are not benefiting like you think. It's these other groups are. We're not like that. Okay? We're not like that. Let me go in here and do this. Let's get into this next thing right here. So as you can see, ICE, as Donald Trump said he was going to do, he was going to get people out of here. What's going on, a guy from Texas? Thank you. As Donald Trump said, he was going to get people out of here. And a lot of people of the Spanish-speaking community, I don't think they really took what he said for real. I think they think that Trump was just talking. No, he's getting these folks out of here. And as you could see, you've got guys that they picked up in Chicago, New York, all around the country. These illegals that have criminal background, that are gang members, all sorts of stuff, doing horrible things, still walking on the streets of this country that they have removed. And I agree with some of these folks being removed from our country if they pose a danger. And I don't really feel bad for those who have been here for 20 and 19 years and have done nothing to make themselves legal. And for the most part, a lot of people, what they do is they come over here on a green card or a work visa. And then after 10 years or more, they overstay their visa and never go back to their country. They just stay over here. And as a result of this, Trump is getting everybody out of here. And I'm going to say this again. Black people, we tried to warn the Spanish-speaking community Latinos, Hispanics, La Raza, Latinx, whatever you prefer to be called, we warned. What's going on, Naps TV? What's going on, my brother? Naps TV. He says, what's up? Good time. Actually had an episode about DEI. Thank you, my brother. I'm glad you came over here, brother. You know, only 4% of black people benefit from DEI. And I also have some other stats to show today why DEI overall is not benefiting us. It's benefiting a lot of other people, but not us. But they kind of lump us in there with this people of color mess, right? Now, black people tried to warn Latinos through social media. We warned you and told you that Trump wasn't playing around, that he was going to get some people out of here. We told you. And even black people that didn't vote for Donald Trump, that were still voted Democratic, they tried to warn you that your family members were going to be in jeopardy of Trump getting them out of here. Y'all didn't listen. Y'all was partying. Y'all was singing a song in praises of a Donald Trump. Y'all was singing and dancing and singing the praises of him like this. Look at it. This is Latinos for Trump right here, what you're watching. Now, I didn't want to play the music because I didn't know if I'd get a copy, you know, whatever. So I had to mute the music that they're playing. But they out there celebrating and partying. They got their red hats on. They get down. They got the drums and they got the hitting the drums and, you know, the electric keyboard, the whole 9 yard, and people out there, and they're celebrating this man and saying, hey, we down with Trump. But Trump, you voted for him, you praised him, and he getting your people out of here. And black people warned you, but you come running back to us talking about black people. Can you help us? Can you help us? Can you do something? We warned y'all. Y'all did not listen. Y'all sat up here and y'all played around and y'all got stupid prizes for it. And this is what happened when you play around like this and you get a stupid prize. Let's expose it. Let's expose it for what it really is. Okay? Latino men voted for Trump at 54%. Trump mainly got in office because white women voted for him again at 52%, white men at 59%. So white people, along with Latino men, are really responsible for Donald Trump being in office. Now, you had black men who voted for him at 20%. That's up from what it was before. But that 20% still didn't. It could have been a difference for Kamala Harris if you wanted her to be president, but black women gave Kamala Harris 92% of the vote. Black men gave her 78% of the vote. So the Democrats still overwhelmingly got the black vote. So any black person talking about, yeah, we responsible for Trump. No, you're not. It was white men at 59% and white women at 52% and Latino men at 54%. You dropped in 20, but you still overall voted for Kamala Harris at 78%. So the Latino men, they are partially responsible for the results that they're now seeing happening to their own family members being taken out of here. And if you hanging out with one of these criminal illegals, they're gonna take your ass too. Let's really hear about this. Let's really let you see what I'm talking about. Check this out.
I voted for Trump, and I'm Latina, half Mexican, half Guatemalan. What it means is that I'm for a president that is pro-America, that is for making this place better, because it's a shit that obviously was not working for us.
Latino for Trump! So far, I'm very, very happy. Thank you.
You hear that again?
I sure did. I voted for Trump, and I'm Latina, half Mexican, half Guatemalan. What it means is that I'm for a president that is pro-America, that is for making this place better, because it's a shit that obviously was not working for us.
Latino for Trump! So far, I'm very, very happy. Thank you.
All right, so you can see they're celebrating. They were happy that he got in. You had them partying over here like that. and screaming Latinos for Trump. But then he started doing what? He started taking your people out of here, and y'all didn't like that. You didn't really think that he was going to take your people out of here. You thought he was just talking for campaign speech, and now you guys are feeling the pain, and you're running back to Black Americans, telling us, let's all unite. We all one all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you want to be one with us. But when we tried to warn you, you say, get out of here, you Negroes. Check this out. This is just the way it is, folks. Check it out.
I saw a video of a Hispanic man today saying that we don't need the support from Black people because we got each other. We got Mexicans, Hondurans, Salvadorans, Nicaraguenses. He basically mentioned all Central America and said, we don't need you guys. If you guys can't support each other, how is it that we need your support? Or how is it that we're going to even get your support? Anybody who saw that video, I watched the whole thing. Anybody who saw that video that's Black, I'm sorry. I'm wholeheartedly sorry. We don't all think like that. My heart has been filled with so much joy seeing the support from the Black community, because we're finally coming to realize that we are so much alike.
No.
That we need each other, that we need to support each other.
No. There is no Black and brown coalition. There is no coming together. We were the ones that tried to warn you guys, and y'all didn't listen. She did this video as a way to plead to the sympathies and the emotions of Black people. There is no coming together. Now, all of a sudden, we need each other more than ever. We've been warning you guys. Black people in America, we understand this country better than anybody. We've been here from the very beginning. We were here before this country was even called America. We were here before it got formed into what we call America. We were here. They had us over here in slavery during the damn 13th, when it was colonies. Okay, we fought in the Revolutionary War against Great Britain. We fought in the damn Civil War. Okay, we fought in the damn Korean War, World War I, World War II, Tuskegee Airmen. Which, by the way, nobody wants to admit this, but when Trump got in office and he was doing all those executive orders, they were trying to snatch the training, the Tuskegee Airmen training. But then they got pushed back and they took it back. Remember, the Air Force pulled boot camp curriculum classes for Tuskegee Airmen videos. After DEI orders, it will stay in the Air Force boot camp curriculum following an outcry, but Trump wanted to get rid of it. The man that y'all claim he gave so much money to Black colleges when it was really a Black woman that was responsible for that. He wanted to zero out the Black college expenses, right? The Air Force has pulled and is re-reviewing a basic military training course that included videos on history of pioneer Black and female pilots during World War II. We've been here the longest. We understand how this American system works. We understand how this political system works. We understand how this country operates better than anybody, better than nobody knows it as good as we know. And y'all didn't listen. And now you're trying to plead your case to Black people by saying, oh, Black people, thank you for being with us. No. We're not caping with you. No, we're not.
That. My heart has been filled with so much joy seeing the support from the Black community, because we're finally coming to realize that we are so much alike, that we need each other, that we need to support each other. That rhetoric that we should hate each other.
Now, I'm not saying that we should hate Spanish-speaking people, but I'm saying the only reason why you see a lot of Spanish-speaking people on social media giving these outcried videos, because they now realize that the hens have come home to roost on them under the Donald Trump dictatorship. It is affecting them. And now they saying, oh, Black people, now we want to be brothers and sisters with you. But when you didn't want to be brothers and sisters with us before, until this shit came down. When Black people are going through things in this country, where are you?
Now more than ever, we should see how alike we are. and how we need each other and how we can succeed when we unite.
Right, but it's because you need us now, because y'all going through something with these, with the ICE raids, or the ICE taking your family members, taking your uncle, taking your mother, taking your little brother, taking your uncle, taking people that you know that are not legally here, and they're your family members, and they're getting taken by ICE. So now all of a sudden, we should see why we should be uniting with you. That's what you're saying to us now, but you wasn't saying that before.
And just know that we don't all think that.
Right. I know that all Latinos or Spanish-speaking people don't think in a negative way about us, but I just find it interesting. I've never, since being on social media, have seen so many Latinos doing these social media posts while they're crying out for us to help them. Have you guys been noticing that too on social media? If you have, put 7. We didn't see this stuff before. We didn't see it last year, year before. All of a sudden now, because they are under the crossfires of Donald Trump's policies. Now check this guy out. He's upset. So he's calling out Black Lives Matter, saying, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Check this out. Check this one out. Y'all probably seen this one before. This one's a trip. Check it out, y'all.
One thing that I have to ask is got me really, really bothered is, where are y'all Black Lives Matter people at, man? When y'all needed us Mexicans and all my peoples was there, standing, marching along with y'all right there, ready to take out whatever needed to be done. So now where y'all at, man?
Let me stop it right there. He must have not gotten the memo, everybody. He didn't get the memo. And the memo that he should have gotten is that Black Lives Matter has been co-opted by the LGBTQ community. Most black people are not following Black Lives Matter. We're not chanting Black Lives Matter. We're not out there rocking Black Lives Matter shirts, T-shirts, and promoting that type of stuff anymore because it got corrupted. It got corrupted by the LGBTQ community. They start changing it into something about non-binary lifestyle and family structures that don't include a man in it by using black men that were being deleted by police officers in this country. And then they were making money off of people funding the organization based off the lives of black men being taken out of here. And then it turned into a situation where you had lesbians and gays and transsexuals and it got co-opted. It got co-opted. And so the average black man and woman in America, we're not part of no Black Lives Matter. We're not supporting it because we recognize that it got co-opted when we start looking at their website and the wording. And then they start taking money and buying mansions in LA. And by the way, one of those mansions, if not both of them, got burnt down in the fire, y'all. So the founders of the organization, they took it to another place that we don't recognize anymore. So you should have gotten that memo while you sitting up here talking about where Black Lives Matter is, man. They are focusing on the LGBTQ agenda. They're not on our agenda. They just use us. They use the black man's life as a way to fund their movement. It got co-opted.
Mexicans and all my peoples was there, standing, marching along with y'all right there, ready to take out whatever needed to be done. So now where y'all at, man? This is real talk, man. This is get off the man. Where y'all at, man? This is real talk.
No.
One thing that I have to ask is got me really, really bothered is where.
No, we are minding our own business, sir. We are minding our own business. You should have told your family members to get their documentation right. So if you got family members being taken out of here, it's your fault for not making yourself right with the law of the land. Y'all got comfortable because under Biden and all the other administrations, under Biden, Biden got people out of here, but it wasn't as aggressive as the way Trump is doing it now, right? Your family members should have gotten their status right a long time ago. And Trump already told you what he was going to do. Y'all just didn't believe it. Now you crying to black folks. And we gonna do just what we need to do. Mind our own business, pay our taxes, take care of our families like you're trying to do, pay our taxes, die and be black. Damn it.
Tell the truth.
We tried to ring the bell of concern, but you didn't want to listen to us. Like this sister right here. Listen to what she's saying right here. She tried to warn you. Check it out.
Black person in the United States of America, Black women in particular, should not give no type of discourse, attention, energy on anything that's going on in the United States of America and the president of the United States of America, period. This is the first and last video I'm going to make about anything for the next 4 years, because we already told y'all, like there's nothing more to say. Don't ask us for advocacy. Don't ask us to support. Don't ask us to protest, because, bitch, we already told y'all. We told y'all what was going to happen. It's like people really thought this man was bluffing. And that's the craziest thing about all this, is that they really thought he was bluffing. And he was banking on y'all to believe that he was bluffing.
And Donald Trump did not bluff. He getting mofos out of here.
You got people talking about, no, he's signing things into, whoa, wait, Project 2025 might be coming to real. Whoa, wait. Yeah, what, you thought it was a joke? No one openly speaks about stuff like that, has a 90+ page manifesto, and doesn't plan on enacting any of the shit that they said they were going to do. Like, you're the dumb one. No, wait, ICE raids are starting tomorrow. Wait, what's going on? I can't. Yeah, bro, we already told y'all, but it's all good. This ain't our fight to fight, Black Americans. Go get rich and stay under the radar, because this is not the time to be active. This is not the time to spread awareness. We tried to do that. Remember, we tried to do that. We voted correctly. Remember that. We voted correctly, and the polls show it. The stats show it. So just lay back, get rich, stay out the way, stay out the mix, and think. The only thing you need to do for the next 4 years is think. Use your head and think. Love y'all.
Wow, something else, y'all. Check out this one right here. Certainly, check it out.
All right. This is for the people who are still catching on. If you are in this country illegally, you have committed a crime. If you have committed a crime, then you are a criminal. Do you see how that works?
All right. Now, check this one out. This woman right here decided to deport herself back to Nigeria. So this is a sister that's from Africa. And and you know what was smart about this is that if you deport yourself, meaning you go back to where you come from, you stand a better chance of being able to come back into the country. But once this is why we tried to warn you, the Spanish speaking community, if folks would have just went back on their own, then they would have a better chance of being able to come back in somewhere down the line. I mean, Trump's only going to be in office for 4 years, but somewhere down the line, you would be in better standings. But because they had to capture you with ICE, now they got you red flagged where you can't come back into the country ever. And if you do, they're going to keep bringing you back. This woman right here was smart so that they didn't take her back and red flag her from never being able to come back to America without them being able to arrest her and see her as, criminal minded or criminal, right? See her as a criminal. So she getting on the airport, she leaving, she's saying, wait a minute, I'm going to go back. She's Nigerian. Check this out.
Yep. I'm off. I'm deporting myself before I get deported. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. Guys, please, 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 please. Wish me good luck. Because I've been threatened on this app many times that I'm illegal, I'm going to get deported. I don't have to wait to be deported. I will use my 2 leg and boom, vamoose, I'm out. Should be you guys have peace now. I've left the country. I deported myself. Happy now? Okay. Watch out.
There she is in the plane. There she is in the plane, and she said she's deporting. She deported herself. What can we say, folks? This is. She said, "Hey, I'm gonna deport myself. You're not gonna have to be able to force me out of the country. Well, I'm just gonna take myself out of the country voluntarily." That's what she's saying. What do you all think about that? But I got some more, because what's important to understand is that immigration, we've been saying, I think Dr. Claude Anderson has said this for years, that immigration or people coming over here illegally it undermines black people from job opportunities, especially jobs in which you have black men and women working in low economic type jobs, that it impacts us heavily. I want y'all to hear something from this guy, this brother. I think he's a professor. I want you to hear what he's saying about the very thing that that I just mentioned to you. Check this out. How immigration impacts black Americans.
I asked the Civil Rights Commission to conduct a hearing on this, and there were at least 3 hearings that we conducted, one of which was designed specifically to determine the effect.
This is Peter Krosno, member of the United States Commission on Civil Rights. So he's a part of the Commission on Civil Rights for the United States. This was maybe, this video is probably 2 years old, something like that. It's still relevant. Listen.
Of illegal immigration on black workers. We had a panel of experts who testified, and they spanned the ideological spectrum. Regardless of whether or not they disagreed on discrete policy issues, each and every one of them agreed that illegal immigration has a decidedly negative impact on black wage levels and employment levels. If you've got a significant influx of low-wage labor, what does it do? It depresses wage levels, correct? And what we found also was, regardless of the wage levels, illegal immigrants displaced black workers in areas that had traditionally been populated by black workers. And the reason for that is because...
Let me just say this right here. Time to amp up. $9.99 super chat. I want to say thank you for the super chat. Let me put this up here. You're absolutely right. Money was funneled into the hands of only a few black people that were involved in BLM, mainly the women who were the founders, just a few people. Of course, remember there was infighting between some of the early founders of the BLM. There was infighting between the activists and the women who founded it. But then, like you said, they literally funneled, they basically funneled a bulk of the funds in the BLM coffers were funneled into the hands of a select few. You're absolutely right. A few rank and file members, about 3 alphabet black women who brought a mansion. Right. And check this out. The mansion is burnt down. Those mansions was in Los Angeles, involved in the fire. So now the money that was spent, that came from the hands of black people that funded Black Lives Matter in the beginning, that mansion, that money is going right down the drain. They have the houses burned. And like I said earlier, the LGBTQ community basically infiltrated the Black Lives Matter movement. And that's why most black people on average, we're not rocking with that. We're not even talking about Black Lives Matter anymore. It's passé because we recognize that the whole thing was a con game using the life of a black man, the lifeblood of black men being taken out of here off the backs of black men, only for them to be talking about alternative lifestyles and alternative family styles and what have you, excluding the male figure. Jonathan Kidd said this: they as cold as ice, they're willing to sacrifice. Right. Can you say exactly? Jill Chocolate Boutique said exactly. Let me get back to this right here. Move this back. This brother from the commission, the Civil Rights Commission, is talking about how immigration and these illegals impact the employment of black people.
Found also was, regardless of the wage levels, illegal immigrants displaced black workers in areas that had traditionally been populated by black workers. And the reason for that is because what you find is black workers, particularly black males, are disproportionately concentrated in the low-wage labor market and are disproportionately likely to have no more than a high school diploma. And the same is true for the cohort of illegal aliens, and they compete with one another in areas such as construction, hospitality, service, and agriculture.
So you listen to what he's saying. Black men or black people who do not have more than a high school degree, high school diploma, if that, are literally competing with immigrants that come over illegally, are legal, who have the same level of education, no advanced degree, and they're competing in what? Agriculture industry, construction industry. Used to be a time in this country back in the day where you would see black men on construction sites. You would see, when's the last time, let's take a test right here, right now. I can't tell you the last time I've seen black men working on a construction site, doing what do you call that? Landscaping. Every time you go out and see that, it's being done by Spanish-speaking people. We know that we used to do those type of fields, but you don't ever see us. And it ain't because we don't, because you know what people are going to say, well, y'all don't want to work. That's BS. And I got a video to prove you wrong on that. That's coming up right now after this. Check this out.
This was not a small displacement either. We had one witness who testified that after he had run the numbers, he found that 40% of the decline in labor participation rates among black workers over 3 decades was attributable to competition from illegal immigration. It comes to nearly 1 million fewer jobs for black Americans as a result of the competition from illegal immigrants.
You also are right about that. Music, Music Man, 1982, you do have black people competing with college degrees as well. You're absolutely right about that as well. What's going on, Black Anonymous? He says, how are you? I've been listening from the clouds. Thank you for listening, Black Anonymous. I appreciate you, as well as the guy from Texas, some saying with construction. Right, but I want to know in the chat room, for you all specifically that in the chat room right now, and make sure you hit the likes too, how many of you have seen black men in particular on construction sites out there doing that kind of hard labor work? How many do you see are being hired on these sites? When you have, you know how if you live in an apartment or a community and you have people doing landscaping, cleaning, because black people, we were the ones that did those type of jobs like landscaping, companies and all that. Where are we? We're out. When you have these groups that come over here like this illegally too, it's impacting us.
And it's not just the employment levels, it's the wage levels also. And I can only give you a few examples, but we had evidence from the Fed in Atlanta, which did a study on this, to show that illegal immigrants depressed wages, competition from illegal immigrants, depressed wages by $960 in.
Did you hear that? By $968, low-wage immigrants impacted the money of low-wage black workers.
On average, but in certain sectors, such as the hospitality industry, the depression of wage levels was $1,560. And because black workers were disproportionately concentrated in those areas, they were disproportionately affected.
Now check this out, everybody. I know that somebody's going to say it's because black people, we won't work. I've been hearing this line about, well, they're doing the jobs that black people or people in America won't do. That's a damn lie. If you pay us a good wage, we'll do a tough damn job. Let me show you a video that shows you why that's BS. Check this out. This video, although it's old, this video, although it's an old video, it is a relevant video. And I'm about to show you why it's still relevant. So the video is 5 years old, just to set it up for you. They had an ICE raid at a chicken company somewhere. I think this company is either in Ohio, Tennessee, Alabama. I think they're somewhere in the South. I think it's either Alabama or Georgia or Tennessee, because you can hear that Southern accent that you're going to hear. But apparently there were these illegals working at this chicken processing company. They had all the damn jobs. Black men couldn't get the damn job. They did a raid. And as soon as they did a raid and got these folks out of here, there was a need to employ those people that were already in the damn community legally, which was black men. So then you had black men applying for the job saying, this is a great opportunity for us. Mind you, it's a hard job. You're working in a chicken processing factory, but they couldn't get the damn jobs because the illegals were had the damn jobs. And ICE had raided them, and then you had black men applying for the job. So when people sit up there and tell you, and this was just 4 years ago, when people sit up here and tell you that we're not willing to work a tough job, that's some BS. Check this out. Check it out.
Less than a week after the raids, one of the poultry companies involved held a job fair.
WJTV 12's Shay O'Connor reports from Koch Foods in Scott County.
Scott County, I don't know if that's Georgia.
Monday morning, dozens of people turned out at Cook Foods employment centers in Martin and the Wynn Job Center in Forest are looking for a job.
I heard that, they were hiring, so I came down here to see if they needed somebody to drive one of the trucks for them, and me and my cousins, we came up here to see if they were hiring anywhere else in the warehouse.
I don't want to hear nobody talking about that black men ain't willing to work. I don't want to hear it. Here's a perfect situation where this company got raided and nothing but you saw so far were black men trying to get a job. That brother right there said, we trying to see if we can get a job. I brought my cousin down here. We willing to drive trucks, whatever it takes. You see what I'm saying? Share this damn video. I deserve, I don't like to talk like this, but I deserve some damn views on this video because I'm breaking a lot of shit down on this video today. If y'all appreciating the presentation, what I'm showing here, put sevens in the chat room, share the video out when you get a chance. I want you to hear what he said again.
Bright and early Monday morning, dozens of people turned out at Cook Foods employment centers in Martin and the Wynn Job Center in Forest are looking for a job.
I heard that, they were hiring, so I came down here to see if they needed somebody to drive one of the trucks for them, and me and my cousins, we came up here to see if they were hiring anywhere else in the warehouse.
The influx in job openings comes nearly a week after 680 undocumented workers were detained in ICE.
680 something undocumented workers or illegals. So they had the damn jobs. No wonder them brothers couldn't get a damn job because they had all the damn jobs and they not even supposed to be. You see how having people here illegally undermines American citizens. So this part of Trump's policy, I'm sorry, I don't have a problem with this part of the orange man's policy. I may disagree with other things that he's doing that I don't like this tariff war that he's going to get into with Mexico and Canada and China and God knows whatever else he wants to do. Shit, he wants Norway. I don't know. For next thing you know, Trump's going to say he wants South America. Shit, give us South America. There's no telling what the orange man is going to do. But the one thing the orange man does have right is the immigration situation. Now, if you go back and look statistically, President Obama actually deported more people out of this country than any other president in history. Even more than what Donald Trump's done so far. Let's get that part straight. But you just heard this.
I'm here to see if they were hiring anywhere else in the warehouse.
The influx in job openings comes nearly a week after 680 undocumented workers were detained in
680. That's 680 people in this county, in this community, who should have never been there, and it impacted the jobs of black men. Isn't that what Brother Peterson was saying that I just played earlier, who works for the Civil Rights Commission, the U.S. Civil Rights Commission? That's why I played that video. I'm putting this all together like a book for y'all. Everything is adding up, ladies and gentlemen. Everything I've been doing from start of this video, going from talking about what's happening with Canada with the import tax war that they're about to get into, how it's going to impact us. Here you got illegals that were working in this plant and it was impacting the job. That means that all these illegals that Trump and his administration is getting out of here, that means that there's going to be jobs available, jobs that maybe black men couldn't get before.
ICE raids at food plants across the state. In the town of Morton alone, 243 people were taken from food plants, Cook Foods being where the highest numbers of workers were detained. Organizers with Wynn Job Center in Forest say they were contacted by the food company last week to conduct the fair.
They have to continue with business as usual. When they continue with business as usual, that means that they have to have enough people in order to process the poultry. And if they don't have that, then of course the lines are going to go down and they're not going to be able to be as productive as they should.
Cook Foods has at least 3 locations within the Morton.
You see that right there? They go more black men. This must be a county where a lot of black people live. You see you see right there, more black men. Let me make it a little bit bigger.
An area. Many who live in or near the small
men.
town say the plant doesn't hire much. Vermandis Davis says he is still shaken up by the raids, but says the job openings provide an opportunity for many.
I'm praying for the families of the people that got detained, for the situation that happened, but I feel bad for everything, but it just opened up more doors for other people that couldn't get anything done.
It opened, look what the brother just said. It opens up more doors for people who didn't get an opportunity. Brother, you sitting up there talking about you feel sorry for them, but they had no business being there in the first place. They impacted you from getting a damn job that you probably would have gotten in the first place had it not been for them hiring all these damn illegals, which now undermines you. Now, Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about this. All the things that are going on today are coming home to roost. Remember, I played this video once upon a time before. Let's hear it from Dr. Claude Anderson. Let's hear it. Check it out.
The humane thing and make sure that those that are born here have rights and are not exported, and their parents aren't are put out of the country. So are you on the other side of that argument?
No. What I'm saying is that to do that, it is unjustifiable. It's illegal and unconstitutional, and it's the worst form of injustice you commit against black folk.
Right.
Because what you're violating is black folks' rights. But see, you cannot, see, the 13th Amendment, let's go back for a second. The 13th Amendment came into existence after the Civil War. Yeah. It says very clearly, Rod, that it mandates that black folk be treated in all manners similar to whites in this nation. Mm-hmm. Now, but see. Right,
the 13th, 14th Amendment was originally written for black people. It did not have all these other groups in mind that have kind of they've kind of grabbed onto it. But it was originally for our people because we were the ones that were wronged in this land.
But immigration policies and bringing in immigrants only negatively impact black folk. It's not impacting anybody else. Black folk are the only injured parties by immigration. Then you go to the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment says that black, and remember the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, those things were written for black folk. That black folks must have due process and equal protection under the law. If black folk are the only people being negatively impacted by immigrants, you're violating their 14th Amendment. There should be all kind of lawsuits right now raised by black folk.
You see what he just said? By doing what they're doing with the 14th Amendment to benefit other groups that are illegally here, that's a violation of the law. It's supposed to benefit those that are citizens, such as black people, which it was written for. It is not supposed to be used to allow illegals to be able to have asylum to stay here under the 14th Amendment. Now, people got on Trump because he wanted to get rid of birthright citizenship. And people said that was too far. That was a violation of the Constitution, which it is part of the Constitution. But birthright citizenship had everything to do with us coming out of slavery into Reconstruction and having to do with the Dred Scott case, if y'all are familiar with the Dred Scott case, and much more.
And then the Civil Rights Law of 1865 and 1866 said very specifically, Rock, that every level of government is mandated to use all necessary means to lift the badges and incidents of slavery off the shoulders of black folk.
Now here you are bringing in all these immigrants over black folk. And here's what you do when you bring them all into black folk. Because you do the same thing they were doing in 1790 when they brought in all these immigrants. You bring in million immigrants over black folk from Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Northern Europe. You brought them in over black folk. When you bring in immigrants, here's what happens. You got black folk that are branded. They don't get any benefits for living in this country because they're branded as being slaves. They get zero benefits. Now, they're not immigrants. Now, watch what's on the other side. Now, when immigrants come in, watch the benefits they get. They go past black folk at 200 miles an hour.
Boom. Dr. Claude Anderson is completely right. Remember what was going on in Chicago when they brought those illegals into Chicago by way of these Republicans. See, we forget, it wasn't that the sanctuary cities just grabbed these people up and brought them up there. It was the Republican governor, Babbitt of Texas, the governor of Florida, that put them on buses and purposely send them to the sanctuary cities like Chicago, New York. They did that on purpose as part of their strategy, right? And it worked, literally, to get people to vote for Trump, who said he's going to get rid of the illegal immigrants. So they helped Trump in bringing them up there. They knew by sending them to these states that the government or the Democratic cities were not going to turn them away because they're a sanctuary state. But what happened to black people in Chicago? They got put upon. The illegals that were in Chicago have impacted the financials, all the systems that black people needed. They were putting them in hotels. They were going out of their way to spend money to make the illegals in Chicago comfortable, while black people kept saying, wait a minute, we got black people homeless here in Chicago. We got black people who you said you were going to open up this school. Now you want to turn it into a shelter for them. Brandon Johnson has just passed a budget to increase property taxes on black folks and other folks in Chicago. And they're saying, wait a minute, you just spent money on these damn migrants, and now you raising our taxes up in this city. This is exactly what Dr. Claude Anderson is talking about.
Over black folk. When you bring in immigrants, here's what happens. You got black folk that are branded. They don't get any benefits for living in this country because they're branded as being slaves. Wow. They get zero benefits. Now, they're not immigrants. Now, watch what's on the other side. Now, when immigrants come in, watch the benefits they get. They go past black folk at 200 miles an hour to pass them. That's why in all these cities, in Chocolate City, they do better right here in Chocolate City. Now, they're underneath the immigrants. Immigrants, they come in the country, they get a point over black folk for being an immigrant. Blacks are the only non-immigrant. 2, all of them are classified as whites. The Arabs, Asian, Hispanic, they all been reclassified as whites. Even American Indians back in the 1890s became classified as whites. They get a point. That's the second point. They get over black folks and getting access to resources and benefits. The third thing they get the benefits for being put into a minority category. They're classified as minorities over black folk. Thirdly, they come in with a culture that they can establish a culture that they can now build businesses, industries, and relate back to their homeland. And lastly, what they can do, they also bring in a religious aspect and business opportunities for their people. Black folk get nothing, and they can come in and take and dominate black folk.
Do you all hear what Dr. Claude Anderson is saying? That we are treated like we're third class, fourth class citizens. They come in, they get benefits over us, they get points because they are an immigrant. Then he's right about the classification. Some will come over here and classify themselves as white. You just saw the video that I played from 5 years ago, and this stuff is still going on, where you have black men who could not get a job at a chicken processing company because they had already arrested 680 something illegals. And then you saw all those black men that you saw on that video trying to apply for a job that they couldn't get the first time around. This is a damn shame.
Why right now, black folk have been buried as an underclass. That's why in this Black History Reader, you look at the second question, it'll show you that the last statistics that came out from the United States Department of Labor says that everybody's over black folk. Black folk have not moved one iota in 150 years. They're still on the bottom, underneath the society and outside of it. You said something earlier
And this is a damn shame, y'all.
You said that you talk about native blacks. And so that clearly sounds as if you are delineating native blacks versus someone that comes here from Bermuda or Jamaica. Or
I'm so glad they're talking about that. This is important, very important.
Well, that clearly sounds as if you are delineating native blacks versus someone that comes here from Bermuda or Jamaica or wherever they may.
Yeah, Rock Newman, I like him too.
From. That is.
Remember, he used to be a
black.
boxing
That's
promoter
right.
too, or something like that.
And the purpose of that is what? Because you on the surface, it would be like, hey, everybody here that's black gets treated a certain way. Why are you making that delineation?
That is an excellent point. You know why? Because you see, those people coming in from Jamaica or coming in from Africa, they have not been treated like black folk in this country. That's the first thing. And secondly, historically, they haven't had those historical experiences. They come in here voluntarily. When they come in here, they bring some cultural aspects from Africa.
Facts.
They can go back anytime they want. But the black people in this country have been exceptional people. Nobody's been mistreated, maltreated like them. Black folk are exceptional. They're the only people that came here forcefully, one. Two, they're the only people that denied their humanity. Three, they were the only people denied a right to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Four, they were the only people denied the right to participate in government. Five, they were the only people denied the right to vote. Six, they were the only people denied the right to have an education.
Facts.
Seven, they were the only people denied the right to have a business.
Facts.
Eight, they were the only people that participated in every war that this country has had since its founding, but whose mother country has never been against this country.
Facts.
All those immigrants come from countries where they fought America, and they came in. And the seven, that they are the oldest and most patriotic people in the country. Not the Confederates in the South. They're not the most patriotic people waving the Confederate flag. The most patriotic people in this country are black people.
Facts. We are the most patriotic people in this country. We fought in every war. Matter of fact, when you guys celebrate Memorial Day, you know that it was black people who created Memorial Day. It was called Flowers Day because it was black people that put flowers on the grave and celebrated the life of soldiers that were taken down by war. We're talking about back in, just as black people were coming out of slavery into Reconstruction. That's where Memorial Day comes from. Look it up, do your history. It was called Flowers Day before they renamed it to Memorial Day. We are truly the most patriotic people in this country. And he made a good point that I thought was powerful. He said black people in America are the only people who have not gone to war against America. Meaning we've had people protesting, we've had the Black Panther Party, but he's mean literally a war. There are people in this country or come from countries that actually were in a military campaign against America. That's the Germans. We got Russians that come over here, and we know that Russia and America have never been on any great term. Chinese come to this country, and we're not on a great term with the Chinese government. It's true. We got people coming to this country who come from countries that at one time were in a military campaign against us, whether it be in World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and such of that nature. The Vietnam War, where you have Vietnamese that come to the country, that's a fact. Black people have never put up a military campaign against America, even for all the crap that we've had to go through. He is completely right about that.
Native blacks, because you see 99% of all those blacks have been direct descendants of slaves. They've been here before 99% of all the other people ever arrived in this country. They are special people. And because they are special people, they need to be recognized, appreciated, and reparated for what they've done in this country and building this country. They're the ones that built the bridges, the roads, cut the timber, the trees, that cleared the land, raised the tobacco, cotton, indigo. They're the people that fought to raise in every war to protect this country. The people coming from Africa or coming from Jamaica didn't. They came here voluntarily. And the most important point on this is if you lump them with black folk, then you give the dominant white society a justification to say we don't owe black folk anything. Mm-hmm. Because you see, the blackness black people's blackness is more than just color. It is their heritage, it's their history, it's their code of conduct, and more importantly, it is their badge of honor, and it's what it symbolizes the indebtedness that this country has to them. This country does not have any indebtedness to people coming from Africa. They don't have any indebtedness to people coming in from the Bahamas. If you lump black folk in there, you deprive black folk of the benefit, the debt that's owed them. Don't do that.
You are spitting fire. Listen.
You hear what he's saying? Do y'all, man, Rock, you did a great job bringing this brother on your show. Do y'all hear what he just said? What do you think about what was just, let me get a little bit closer. What do you think about what was just said by Dr. Claude Anderson on the Rock Newman show? I had to play some of that as part of the crescendo to our program today. But before I end the program, I'm going to go back into the chat room and get some of your thoughts and put them on the screen and read them off and what have you. But if you've enjoyed so far the presentation that I've put on today on this channel, please, please, by all means, share the video in your X, your Facebook, any social media that you use, your community tab, because I think this video deserves viewership because I'm getting into a lot of areas and I'm backing it up with facts and data. I'm using video content like Dr. Claude Anderson. You saw the other video that I showed you showing how black people are impacted by this immigration situation. I also showed you that video where you had black men who probably, they probably don't have a college education. Who knows? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it showed you that they were willing to work. One brother said, hey, I'm here with my cousin. And I wanted to show that because that's the first thing that somebody will say, black people don't want to work, or y'all ain't going to want to take them jobs that the immigrants are taking. That's a lie. There's plenty of towns and places around this country where black men will work those type of jobs if they can get a decent wage or get an opportunity. But if you got a lot of these illegal immigrants or illegals working in these factories, in these particular processing plants, for example, and they've got the jobs at the hundreds and the hundreds, then of course, black men that live in that community that need a damn job, even if it's a low wage job, can't get the job, you see. And we can't sleep on that type of shit. We just can't. We just can't. Let's go in the chat room and see what you all are thinking. As that is my presentation in a nutshell. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat room as we get ready to conclude today. Time to Annie Up says this. Dr. Claude Anderson comments are factual and that you can't deny them. They're facts. Jill's Chocolate Boutique says fact, information man, thank you. Jay the Informant says yap. We've got my man from Street Media rocking in the house with us. He says peace and black power to the whole chat room. Brother George, Street Media TV. Make sure y'all check him out. George, I hope everything is okay, brother. Let me know how you doing. George, I know you had some personal health issues going on, but let us know how you doing, brother. Prayers are with you. God bless you. Street Media TV said, good information today, big brother. Thank you. I've been trying to put it out there as best as I can. Folks like Umar, who has fake non-profits and only benefits himself, ignore these facts like he ignores FDMG. Well, it's a shame. It should have been open a long time ago. You know, I've done a video about that. It's a damn shame. We got Sean Jean says, I want reparations and restitution. Alan Christian says, preach information, man. Thank you very much. Without a question, times Annie Up. Jill's Chocolate Blue says, no lies detected. No lies detected. Thank you very much. Roland, are you listening? Roland, talking about Roland Martin. I really appreciate everybody coming over today. Yeah, brother. Just hey, George, man, George, keep me. You got my number and everything like that, brother. Keep me abreast of your situation. And everybody, by the way, George Makem, who is Street Media TV in the chat room right now, he also has the Urban Nerds Worldwide organization where he's working with youth. He shows you what he's doing on his channel with young men in Philadelphia. Make sure you go go on Google and put in there Urban Nerds Worldwide. You will see his website. Unlike Umar, you'll get a real nonprofit. You will get a real tax write-off for donating to his organization, and you get something for donating. He's got merch, he's got hoodies, t-shirts, various things with the logo of Urban Nerds Wide. You're gonna love it, folks. You guys are familiar with him. He's been over here many times. And also, we're overdue, George, for doing a collaborative video together, George. We're way overdue for that. We haven't done anything together in quite some time and talked about anything together. So we're overdue for that, brother. But please put Urban Nerds Worldwide in your Google. You will find his website. George, if you want to, man, because you're a mod over here. What the hell am I talking about? Drop your link to your whatever you want to do, channel, or mainly your website to your nonprofit. And it shows exactly what he's doing. He shows you that unlike other people who talk a big game, George is doing it because he shows you, even on his channel, he shows and proves what he is doing and what he is about. He's dropping the link right now. What's going on, Jasmine Virgo? Good to see you over here. It's been a minute. Good to see you. We got Lady in the house saying, nice to catch a live, great show. Thank you. Look, anybody that's coming in, if you have not watched this program from the beginning, if you have time this Sunday evening, go back and look at the replay of this video, because I did talk about the situation with the tariffs in Canada, but you got to look at it from the beginning to piece it all together. So please do me the favor, if you can do that, share the video on your social media, share the video on your community tab if you can. I appreciate that. Great live info. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much for coming over. And there it is. He put the links in there. Urban banner. He got www.urbannerdsworldwide.com. So check that out. Jay the Informant says he's also went to Q Butter Real School. Yeah, Q Butter's got a real school. Yeah, he's cool with Q Butter. I'm cool with Q Butter. Me and Q Butter haven't talked in a minute. I know he goes live on his channel like damn near 24 hours. But yeah, you see George Macomb goes to Q Butter School, talks to the brother, brings his kids, brings his youth there. He's a family man, married, doing the right thing. Put him in your blessings. George been having some health issues, so put him in your blessings. He also went to Q Butter's Real School and showed Real Action Street Media TV. Yeah, Street Media TV is about real action, y'all. Alicia says she's still here listening and eating. Hey, I appreciate that. Enjoy your food. You know what I'm saying? We got Cynthia Carter, who just came in the house, saying, what she said, what charges do the companies who hire them get? And if none, then my question is, why not? That's a good question, my sister. I personally believe that they should be going after the businesses that hire illegals. You could end all this crap if you start going after these businesses. You start arresting the people that own the business, who hired them, right? Who picked them up. When you start putting pressure and fines on these businesses, it may deter them from taking in these illegals who work jobs that take jobs from black men, for example. Let me show that video one more time for people that's coming in a little late. I got to show this. Check this out. I'll show the full frame.
After the raids, one of the poultry companies involved held a job fair.
WJTV 12's Shay O'Connor reports from Koch Foods in Scott County.
Bright and early Monday morning, dozens of people turned out at Cook Foods employment
See these
centers
black
in Martin
men?
and the Wynn Job Center in Forest are looking for a job.
I heard that, they were hiring, so I came down here to see if they needed somebody to drive one of the trucks for them, and me and my cousins, we came up here to see if they were hiring anywhere else in the warehouse.
The influx in job openings comes nearly a week after 680 undocumented workers were detained.
680 undocumented workers. These brothers couldn't get a job prior to this at this particular plant. Check it out.
In ice raids at food plants across the state. In the town of Morton alone, 243 people were taken from food plants. Cook Foods being where the highest numbers of workers.
So that means that Cook Food should have been under what the sister is saying. Cook Food should have been fined, or the people who hired them should be in big trouble. So you make a very powerful point. Muhammad gave me a $4.99 saying, thank you for all your live streams. Great information. Thank you for that. Thank you. Black Anonymous says, I have an idea I'd like to share with you. I'll send an email. Okay, brother, send an email, Black Anonymous. But let me play this out again.
Were detained. Organizers with Wynn Job Center in Forest say they were contacted by the food company last week to conduct the fair.
They have to continue with business as usual.
Ain't that something? They had all those illegals, 680 of them. They got busted. They got arrested. And it was the company that conducted a jobs fair. And now they saying we got to utilize those in the community that's legally here and born here, like black men.
As usual, that means that they have to have enough people in order to process the poultry. And if they don't have that, then of course the lines are going to go down and they're not going to be able to be as productive as they should.
Cook Foods has at least 3 locations within the
more black men those are black men trying to get jobs.
Area. Many who live in or near the small town say the plant doesn't hire much.
Well, of course the plant doesn't hire much because they've been hiring illegals.
Amanda Davis says he is still shaken up by the raids, but says the job openings provide an opportunity for many.
An opportunity that should have already been there. See, just like Clyde Anderson said, we got folks like this that come over here illegally, and then black people get knocked to the side. I just wanted to play a little bit at it again for people who came in a little late to give you a little taste of what we've been talking about today. This is crazy though, everybody, what's going on. It really is crazy. Really is. Let me see. Peggy Roster is here. How you doing, sister? She says, the jobs black people will not do or take is the field picking apples or oranges. Yeah, I don't think we gonna hell shit. If they check this out. If they announce tomorrow that they paying people $30 and $40 an hour to pick some apples, you'll have a lot of people out there picking some damn apples. Okay. The thing is, Americans are not going to work for low wages, but you're right. It's hard labor. A lot of people don't want to do hard labor, but you know, the guy from Texas says, thanks. Peggy Rosser says, for those just coming in, please like, thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate that. But everybody, I got to get on out of here. I think I've taken up enough of your time on your Sunday evening. I know you probably want to relax, look at a movie, eat, spend time with your family, but you have spent a great amount of your time with me over here today. Appreciate it. We'll be putting out more videos on this channel. My strategy, I know it's been taking me a while, is that I want to do maybe some more, I want to go live on Sundays like I do some uploaded videos, produce some YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And of course, go over to Info Media Reacts if you have not, and subscribe to the Info Media Reacts channel. I'll be doing content on that channel as well. If you're wondering, well, how do I get to the Info Media Reacts channel, my other channel? All you got to do is scroll down my YouTube page and you will see the Info Media channel. You will see the Prime Sports Media channel that I have all on my page, and you can subscribe to any of those channels that you like. So I really appreciate you all. Very much so. I want to say, everybody, definitely have a great evening. Tell someone that you love them. Don't forget to recognize that we are going to be under some financial stress with these tariffs that Trump is throwing out there. There's a lot of resources that we need, that we depend on from Canada, even Mexico as well. And so this import war that Trump is getting into with China and Mexico and Canada is dangerous, and it's going to affect people at the very bottom economically more than anybody, but it's going to affect us in one way or another, whether it be the food that we buy at the store, the gas that we put in our car, the electricity bill that we're paying to keep ourselves warm in the winter, in the cold air, when it's cold outside, the electricity that we're using, the electricity that I'm using to stream right now. That means what? Everything's going to go up. And guess what? When everything costs these corporations, they put the import tax on us as the consumers. So let's keep an eye out on what's really going on. Trump's doing some wild stuff, but it doesn't surprise me. I was expecting things to be wild under his, his leadership and what he's trying to do. It's crazy, y'all. It's it's really crazy. So I hope everybody is doing fine, and we'll get back to this again very soon. With that said, everybody, I want to say, take care of yourself. Peace. Peace. Enjoy your Sunday evening, and we're going to do this again very soon. I appreciate everybody in the chat room, everybody that came through, and I want to say this to you. Thank you for watching the program today. I want to say subscribe to the channel. Definitely subscribe. And I want you to thank you. I wanted to thank you for watching. And subscribe and do all those great things that you can do. I appreciate you. Take care, everybody. Peace.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.